I'm Christine Lisi with the main story of the day. Giannis is staying with the Bucks for the foreseeable future. Giannis Antetokounmpo announcing on social media he'll sign a 5-year extension with Milwaukee. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting it'll be for the full 5-year, $228 million Supermax. Includes an opt-out after the 4th year. The Giannis deal will lead to players around the NBA viewing the Bucks differently, believes ESPN's Paul Pierce.
When you have a great player in place as a foundation, it doesn't matter if you're Milwaukee. Like you said, it's how you run your organization. So now when free agency comes,
that's what I want.
Guys are going to look like, hey, I can go to Milwaukee and play because of Giannis signing this long-term deal and having great organization culture there.
Rocket star James Harden will make his preseason debut tonight versus the Spurs. Source told ESPN's Jenna Lane. Buccaneers running back Ronald Jones underwent a procedure to have a pin inserted into his fractured left pinky finger. He still has a chance to play Sunday against Atlanta. The College Football Playoff Committee will reveal its second-to-last rankings of the season tonight, 7 Eastern, ESPN TV and the ESPN app.
We're back on Wednesday reacting to the latest college football playoff rankings. Everyone is disrespecting my USC Trojans. I will tell you why. They should be ranked higher. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Brain.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
And Mr. Toby Tumpley. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Make it a good one. We are jam-packed today. Barrett Sallee of CBS Sports, SEC writer in about 15 minutes. Larry Holder, bottom of this hour. Shea Dixon, 1 hour from right now. Tomorrow's a massively significant day. Tomorrow is the start of the early signing period. And Rohan in hour 3, by the way. And just a quick catch-up as a reminder for those that don't recall. A couple years ago, the NCAA implemented an early signing period. I'm guessing many of you know this, but just for the benefit of those that don't, a quick refresher. You've always had National Signing Day in February. A few years ago, the NCAA instituted, like they have in other sports, an early signing period so players and prospects could sign in December. The reason was, I think, a very good one. It basically forces both programs and prospects to declare their intentions. Do you actually intend to be part of this program? Do you actually intend to give this prospect a spot in your class? And if not, it allows both 2 months before the February signing day to explore the rest of their options. So tomorrow's massive. For as awful a year as this has been for LSU, both on the field and off, landing a premier signing class tomorrow, the beginning of a premier signing class tomorrow, is massive for this program. It's a declaration to say LSU is still here among the national elite, and this year is a one-off. Tomorrow is a gigantic step into righting the ship. You keep all those prospects that are currently committed, you get them in the boat. You get Mason Smith tomorrow to say, I don't care that LSU's 4-5 right now. I don't care what they've been. I'm going there to go play early, win a championship. Huge. So we'll talk 1 hour from right now with Shea Dixon. Where is LSU less than 24 hours before the signing period begins? Where do we expect them to be tomorrow and then into February? We'll get into all that with Shea about an hour from right now. Speaking of the miserable year on the field and off, USA Today has published another report involving the allegations against LSU and their mishandling of Title IX complaints. This is now the third report from USA Today on this subject. If you go to usatoday.com, you can read the entire thing. LSU knew in 2018 that officials kept allegations against athletes in-house. It did nothing. That is the headline of the report today at USA Today. Candidly, and I did read the entire thing, and it is lengthy. Candidly, I'll tell you, this feels a lot like what we were going through with the Will Wade Yahoo reporting. And one is obviously far more serious than the other. One was a coach arranging for prospects to receive funds. This is rape and sexual assault allegations that were going unheard and dismissed allegedly. So the gravity of one is far more than the other. And I'm not trying to draw that comparison. What I'm saying is, if you remember with the Yahoo Will Wade stuff, it was one report after another, splash report after another, essentially saying the same thing. And that's what this feels like. There are two new pieces of information within a report which seems to have been told time and time again. One is that there's a new named accuser of Drake Davis. So a second woman, apparently, that Drake Davis was abusing, allegedly. And also, Sharon Lewis is now involved as she and Vera Jawsbury were included in a 2018 Title IX report about 2016 allegations. It's a very long report. It's not worth it for me to sit here and go through every detail, but I do want to reiterate a couple things. There's two observations I have. Number one, and most importantly, I am not going to draw wide-ranging conclusions about these allegations until due process is played out. Because what you were talking about literally are criminal allegations. And in our country, we have a presumption of innocence until guilt is proven. The burden of proof is on the accuser. Otherwise, I could say, hey, Brian, you stole my truck. And then I'd go arrest him. And you say, no, I didn't. Well, prove to me you didn't. You can't do that. Otherwise, you'd be throwing people in jail for nothing. So the burden of proof is on the accuser. I am willing to wait to hear the accused, their side of this story. And I'm willing to wait to see what this investigation tells before I give you any wide-reaching declarations about this. What I will say is that if these allegations are true, at every level of a university that I attended and graduated from, at every level, from the president's office to the Title IX office to the athletic administration office to the football office, they need to clean house. If these allegations are true, I'm willing to wait until that report comes out in February and to see if anything else comes of it. But I will say two other things with respect to this. These were allegations of an instance that, again, allegedly occurred in 2016, a Title IX investigation that happened 2 years later in 2018, and now 2 years after that is being reported upon. There's a massive timeline with a lot of he said, she said mixed in that needs to be sorted out. But the thing that is declarative in this, that is obvious in the USA Today report, and this should come as no surprise, and further underscores why Joe Oliva is one of, if not the worst athletic director any of us have ever seen. Yes, shockingly, right? The guy that oversaw the Duke lacrosse scandal is now mixed in with this. Federal law states that when an allegation such as this comes up on a college campus, it must be directly reported to the Title IX office. USA Today has obtained an email from Joe Oliva to the athletic staff, which reads in part, I'd like to remind you all of your responsibility as a state employee to immediately report any knowledge you have of inappropriate conduct, sexual harassment, or sexual assault. So far, so good. The university has trained investigators who will examine every issue or concern reported in accordance with applicable laws. So far, so good. Please notify Miriam Seeger, Senior Associate Athletics Director, of any such issue immediately so that the concern can be forwarded to the appropriate personnel on campus. He goes on to say, if you prefer to report a concern directly, please report online through the LSU Cares website or contact LSU Police. Y'all, federal Title IX law. Federal Title IX law is that you report these allegations directly to the Title IX office. LSU's esteemed former athletic director sent an email to the entire LSU athletic staff saying, report it to Miriam Seeger. Not to Title IX, report it to Miriam, and then she'll report it to Title IX. That's a violation of federal law. And it's in an email to the entire LSU athletic staff. I said it when they fired him. I'll say it again. Thank God Almighty Joe Oliva is gone. Because that could be the thing, that's the smoking gun that gets LSU pegged. That there was a directive from the athletic administrator to say, don't follow federal Title IX law. Go straight to Miriam. You might say, what's the big deal? Elizabeth Taylor is a Temple University professor who studies sexual assault within athletic organizations. And she notes in this USA Today article, it's a huge conflict of interest for the athletic department, going to Miriam instead of to Title IX. They were essentially allowing a senior associate athletic director the ability to make decisions about whether or not to continue to report things up the chain. They're playing the decision maker when it's not their decision. I'll wait until February to see what comes out. But this, along with the text message that Verge Osbury had with Drake Davis back and forth, where Drake acknowledged punching a woman in the stomach and Verge did not report it, those two things so far are the most clear-cut, black and white, damning evidence that we've seen of LSU failing to appropriately report Title IX accusations. As this develops, we'll continue to follow it. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're with us. We'll knock out a quick break. When we come back, Barrett Sallee is going to join us. Covers college football and the SEC for CBS Sports. Looking forward to having Barrett around. We'll talk about the SEC coaching carousel that's already starting to spin and what we're looking at heading into championship weekend. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I'm so pumped. Carriages, Will over at Carriages. Yesterday, I told you about it. They went ham with this. Of course, told you over at Carriages in honor of Dan Mullen and the Florida Gators. Carriages is celebrating this LSU win with 20% off all shoes in stock. Everything. All shoes in stock. Martin Dingman, boots, all of it. 20% off. At checkout, mention the Dan Mullen discount. I absolutely love it. If you want to go save on shoes, this is totally legitimate. They are 20% off all shoes. Their entire Instagram right now is basically 20% off all shoes. Ask for the Dan Mullen discount. Tweeted this yesterday. It's got a little virality to it. Even Florida beat writers are mentioning it. But Carriages in Bocage, right there in the courtyard in Bocage Village, where they've been for 30 years. Great opportunity to save 20% off all shoes before Christmas. Just ask for the Dan Mullen discount.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hello?
What's up, E? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Call for a free quote to see how much you can save. 293-0450. After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
You know, we wondered early in this season if the coaching carousel would spin. So much revenue lost because of COVID. Would athletic departments suffering major budgetary shortfalls, would they fire and be willing to pay buyouts and new staffs? We have got a resounding answer to that question. Barrett Sallee, CBS Sports on Twitter, at Barrett Sallee. You also catch him on SiriusXM. Good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us. Barrett, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, Matt. Hope you and your family are doing well. And, yeah, it's strange having football this late. And, hey, you know what? I don't mind at all.
Dude, it does feel a lot like an NFL season, starting so early and going so late. But I'm with you, man. We get so much football on TV all throughout the year. I'm down with it. You heard the open there. I am a little surprised, Barrett, that the coaching carousel is spinning as feverishly as it is. I want to ask you about the SEC gigs that are open. Let's start with Auburn. What was your reaction to see them pull the plug on Gus Malzahn? Not so much in pulling the plug, but the timing of it after this season.
Not at all surprised. This was, in my mind anyway, talking to some folks throughout the course of the season, this was a done deal. This had been the plan really since week 2 against Georgia, when I think it became abundantly clear that not only can they not get over the Georgia hump, but the offense is still going to be average at best. And that has been the biggest frustration with Gus Malzahn, is that he's supposed to be this offensive genius, and they haven't finished in the top half of the SEC in offense since 2014. That's not supposed to happen. And so if you're not good at what you're supposed to be good at, then what's the point? And I think they got fed up with it, and this has not been a surprise at all. I think the one thing that he did, and it might be what caused him to get fired, is that he raised the expectation level further than higher than it was before. Because I think after Cam, I think Auburn recognized that they could win at a high level, regardless of what Alabama's doing across the state, doing their own thing, being Auburn. And then Gus sort of took that and ran with it in 2003 and then 2017. And so it just changed the perspective, and he just was never able to break through that glass ceiling.
Are you buying Kevin Steele as a realistic option to replace him?
I think it's a dumb option, but
yeah.
Look, I think just talking to some folks around there are a few extremely powerful people that are on Kevin Steele's side. And there are more, maybe less powerful people that are on Cristobal's, Freeze, Lane Kiffin, Bill Clark, that side. And they certainly are anti-Kevin Steele in terms of the head coach. So I think that's the power struggle right now is, and now I think it's really evolved into, okay, if the powerful people get their way and they hire Kevin Steele, does that have a longer-term impact, negative impact on the fan base and the way that they view Auburn football and the excitement or lack thereof? And I think that the answer that they're starting to realize is yes, that the apathy would set in quicker. So that's why you didn't see anything last night. You haven't seen anything today. The search firm thing, I wouldn't worry about that. That was kind of planned. That was just kind of a formality.
Right.
But no, the Kevin Steele thing, there are legs to it, but it's just one sort of road to go down. And I think there are others that are still not only out there pushing for other coaches, but maybe some yet to be seen. I do know that there are a few, not necessarily major power players, but people that have a little bit of influence that really want Lane Kiffin. And I'm telling you, I don't think that happens. But my God, for you and I, for our business, holy crap, let that happen.
Kiffin, for the second time in 2 decades, having Auburn steal an Ole Miss coach, and this time being Lane Kiffin. Oh, God.
Man.
Look, but Barrett, as an LSU guy, Auburn head coach Lane Kiffin is a terrifying phrase.
Dude, right?
Yeah.
It would be terrifying. It would be a match made. Look, and that, don't get me wrong, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
But man, that would be awesome for our storyline, and legitimately, he would do great things there. They're never going to do it, but he would do great things there.
Barrett Sallee's with us, CBS Sports on Twitter at Barrett Sallee. What do you think about Shane Beamer at South Carolina?
Okay, so Billy Napier wanted that job. He's a South Carolina guy, and I don't understand why. If you're going to hire Shane Beamer, why not hire Billy Napier and let Shane Beamer go to Louisiana and learn how to be a head coach? I don't get it. Now, I do think that Shane's going to be a good head coach, and I do understand the alums and the former players and the boosters were kind of all on board with Shane because they loved him when he was there as an assistant. If you're South Carolina, you're marrying yourself to a rebuild with him. Which, look, if that's what they want to do, that's fine. They need to stick with that mindset, no matter what happens early. Understand that it's going to be a rebuild, and don't fall into the trap that Tennessee fell into when they won 8 straight games over last year and the start of this year, where suddenly they think they're better than they are. So, if the administration's ready to stick to the rebuilding plan, fine. He'll do fine. And at South Carolina, you go 8-4, you got job security forever.
Yeah.
Right? So he can do that, but it's going to take a little while for him to build up to that. And so if they're okay with that, which it sounds like they are, then he's fine. But if they wanted to do better, if they wanted to maybe contend for SEC East titles not only quicker but more consistently, Billy Napier should have been their guy.
Are you surprised Vandy went Clark Lee?
I think the idea that, oh, God, they're going with the defensive coordinator again, it's going to be Derek Mason 2.0, that kind of the first thing that I thought of. But then sitting back and thinking about it, okay, you're talking about Clark Lee, who's 38, he's younger than I am, which is just sad and crazy.
He's the same age as me and quite wealthy, so good for him.
You're younger than me?
He wins. I'm 38, yeah. I'm just really bald, man. That's all. I just,
I'm getting there.
Yeah, well, come on. I bit the bullet. I bit the bullet this year, man. Just blade to scalp. It's over.
Hey, you know what? I convinced my wife to let me two-guard it, which I'm really happy that I won that discussion. What were we talking? Oh, Clark Lee.
Yeah. The Vandy guy. Actually, we don't really have to talk about the Vandy guy if you don't want to. I actually asked that question
True story.
thinking.
at the national title game, I had Dave Aranda send a 1-minute video to my wife telling her that bald is great. That didn't work. But
I actually remember that. I didn't know that was you, but I remember. I mean, I was there. We so seldom get to talk to the coordinators. I remember Dave doing the bald is great thing. That's fantastic. Good for you.
Yes. No, but look, he was there from 2002 to 2004. Clark Lee knows the challenges. He knows the relatively, modern new age challenges because he is so young. And I think really if you're Vanderbilt, that's the more important thing. Somebody who really gets it and how to approach that gig. And I think he can do that. And he's well respected on the recruiting trail. I think he'll probably go with an offensive scheme that is a little bit unique, which is something that Vanderbilt needs to have. And so I think he'll be fine. Look, all they want to do is get to 6 wins. That's all they want. And it's going to take a little while. He's going to get his players. And I think with him, he has connections with a lot of these players and these high schools from around the country. He does have connections still in the South. And there's so many easier ways to build a roster now with the one-time transfer rule and the free year of eligibility this year, and probably a delayed signing class, at least in terms of the volume. We're not going to get as many kids tomorrow as we have in years past. I think he'll be able to manage that pretty well. So I think he'll be all right. I mean, again, if you're 6-6 at Vandy, you get to live in Nashville, you get job security. Yeah. I mean, dude, that's a dream.
Dude, I just pulled up a picture of Clark Lee on his senior day at Vandy. He was bald then, dude. Like, I mean, he had the toilet seat. Talk about a bunch of bald guys.
Hey, you know what? He's living it, right? Like, you already convinced your wife I am on the road. Like, bald is beautiful.
Yeah, I guess. I wish I had my hair, though.
I do, too, but I'm trying to convince myself otherwise.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, I got 2 more things. One, all right, Barrett Sallee, fix LSU.
Oh.
Right?
The offense is fine. I think the defense, like Ed was right that they're young. Like I don't know what the number was he threw out there after the game, but a lot of sophomores and freshmen played against Florida. Find some way to have seen. I think the program was broken, and I think it was something that Ed didn't manage throughout the course of the offseason. And I think probably it was due to the fact that all of the leaders were gone and nobody stepped up, and I think maybe now that can be one of the running backs, or maybe that can be, any of the quarterbacks really at this point. Nobody had a voice. And I think what Saturday did was it let those young players understand that playing together, you can do some great things. And I think LSU this year was sort of like what happened at Florida State, not to that degree, but what happened to Florida State at the end of the Jimbo era, throughout the Taggart era, is that you had 85 players going in 85 different directions. And I think what Saturday did was probably make a lot of them realize that, hey, you know what? We got to come together behind our leaders, whoever those may be, and you can do some great things. And sadly, it took a full season for that to happen, but it was a mess. I don't think there's any doubt about it up until Saturday.
I mean, Saturday was improbable as you'd find. I mean, the only point spread upset in recent history that anybody could find was in 1993 when a terrible LSU team under Curly Hallman went to Tuscaloosa and won as a 25-point underdog. In these parts, it's known as the day that pigs fly. So, I mean, I'm telling you, man, you're talking about a once every 3 decades type upset. That was incredible on Saturday. Hey, before
the thing about it, too, the thing about it, too, is like, okay, so LSU's secondary was awful all year. So suddenly, when all of them are hurt or injured or got thrown out for targeting, and you literally do not have any other defensive backs, you win the game against the best passing offense in the SEC? I mean, sure, whatever.
Yeah. Just say 2020. That's what everybody says now.
Yeah, right.
2020. It's on brand, and people get it. It might as well just be an adjective now.
Right, exactly.
Okay, last thing. I guess this is there's 2 ways to ask this. I want to ask the Ohio State question. Number 1 is, do they get in? And number 2 is, should they get in?
They do get in. I think they should get in.
Okay.
It's just, you can't focus totally on the number of games. You actually have to look and see how good they are. And if they're 6-0, you hate to say, okay, well, they'd be 9-1 or 10-1 or whatever, but they're probably not going to lose a game. Or if they do, it would only be one if the regular Big Ten season operated the way it normally did. So I'm okay with it. I know others might disagree. It's a screwy year. I get that. But what are you going to do? Put Texas A&M in over them? Okay. I understand there's an argument there, but they did get blown out by Alabama. You can't look past that. At least in terms of the Ohio State discussion.
Okay. You and I can debate that over a whiskey one day soon.
Well, no, honestly, Matt, I can be convinced otherwise. I don't really believe myself when I say that.
So, all right, here's my perception is, look at what just happened with LSU in Florida.
Yeah. No,
I
get it.
I mean,
I get it.
Do you remember 2 years ago when Ohio State went to Iowa and gave up 60 points?
Yes.
I mean,
yes, I do.
They always have one of those. And if you played 4 or 5 more games, one of those probably happens because it's happened every year with Ohio State.
Let's just say one does. They still might have a better resume than Texas A&M.
Maybe. Where's their great Big Ten win?
Right, but how much would they value a conference championship?
I know. I'm with you on that.
I don't know.
But
there's no right answer. That's the problem.
Which is why we should just go to 16.
No.
All right,
That's why we should go back to 2.
No, we will. We are absolutely having this fight, you and I, one day. No doubt. Because, by the way, this is the only way to fix the opt-out issue in college football as well. Give more teams an incentive to play longer and give them a shot to play into it. It's the only way to fix it.
I would go back to 2, but you're entitled to your opinion.
All right, we're going to fight over that next time I see you. Okay, and I'll pay the tab as well.
Hey!
All
right, I'm into that.
All right, dude. Thanks so much for the time as always, man. Great to chat.
Yeah, man. See you, Matt.
All right, that is Barrett Sallee, CBS Sports, on Twitter at Barrett Sallee, and he is so dead wrong about the playoff. Okay, stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Premier South Roofing and PremierSouthLA.com. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Lake Charles, and the North Shore, and online at PremierSouthLA.com. PremierSouthLA.com. You want to have a better experience with a contractor? Premier South Roofing can help you with that. I rattle off all the awards they've won, all the service awards, all the ethics awards, because whether you want to admit it or not, at some point, everyone has had a bad experience with a contractor or has feared having a bad experience with a contractor. When you call Premier South Roofing, you don't have to worry about that because that's just how they've built their business. They're licensed and insured. They have great crews that are friendly, that do the job right, on time. I mean, their work stands for itself. I mean, it's why you see their trucks and their signs everywhere. Trust your neighbors. Go read reviews. Premier South Roofing. Online, PremierSouthLA.com. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Lake Charles, and the North Shore. And online, PremierSouthLA.com.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4Kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Call for a free quote to see how much you can save. 293-0450. After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Listen to what I'm saying. All right. I didn't say the team ever wasn't prepared. I said, man, we looked flat. We didn't look ready to play, and that's a reflection on me, and it's upsetting.
Sean Payton was salty on Monday. He should be. Team stunk on Sunday, and it is largely his fault. All right, glad you're back with us here. Larry Holder, theathletic.com/New Orleans, joins us as he does every Tuesday. How are you, Larry?
I'm good, Matthew. How are you?
I'd be doing a lot better if the Saints didn't suck on Sunday and blow it against a 3-8-1 football team. Let's recap that before we look ahead. Start on the offensive side of the ball. Why do they stink?
Well, I'm not a big fan of the interior offensive line, which you like to note every week when a certain $11 million paid player has a folly, and you like to see what I have to say about it every time it happens. His name is Andres Pete.
Yep.
And we've had issues with him not just this year, but in previous years, and we've talked about how this contract doesn't live up to expectation. And when Sean Payton calls you out unprompted, you got a problem. I mean, we've seen him do this to Marcus Williams. We've seen him do this to other players. Look, it is something that when you see, say, a strength, like the Eagles' defensive line, that was a strength. And you see other defensive lines that are going to be good, maybe coming up in the playoffs, and you see the interior of the offensive line struggle, specifically at the guard spots, not center, maybe not so much a tackle, but the guard spots. It brings you back to Minnesota last year, the playoff game. That got you beat. And I can tell you, Saints fans are wondering, wow, this could happen again, and maybe the Saints, even though they're a good team, they can get beat.
Assess Taysom Hill.
When you're not playing the 31st ranked pass defense, you run into some problems. And I think that's part of what he saw. He did not improve his pass play until you saw Darius Slay go out, Rodney McLeod go out, Avonte Maddox go out. Then he was able to start throwing the football a little bit better. Then you saw some injuries with the Eagles along their defensive front. If those guys were all healthy, I'm not sure this game would have been that close. So it was actually pretty fortunate. I don't like that he was basically lackadaisical in his tempo when you got to score and get going. Drew Brees absolutely brings that different element to the offense when he gets back.
Do you have a So that it's interesting that you brought up that drive that ended in the fumble. Do you just trust Sean Payton, though, that he knew what the clock was and what the tempo needed to be in that drive?
I don't think Sean Payton liked it.
Okay.
And so no, I don't think that was hey, Sean Payton says, let's go methodically. No,
Okay.
I don't think he liked the tempo. And I think that's why you hear him. He says he played all right, but you could see Sean Payton chirping at Taysom Hill because it's not the same tempo that he's accustomed to. There needed to be more urgency. And because I think he understood, and the team understood it, but he definitely understood at that time that you lose this game and you fall behind the 8 ball. And now they're not the number 1 seed, but there needed to be better tempo, better urgency. And so, I think he certainly understood that, and that is probably not what he wanted Taysom Hill to do.
Give me some perspective on the loss. I mean, obviously we know that they could have clinched the division. They lost control of their own destiny. But if you had to wrap it up into a bow, how does it look?
I think it gives me concern for not just this coming week, but later. The guard spots, I just mentioned it, offensive line-wise. Nick Easton started, and he struggled against Atlanta. He missed the block on a 4th and short. Taysom Hill gets stopped. Then he's out with a concussion, and then Cesar Ruiz has to play. And obviously you don't have full confidence in him, otherwise he'd be starting. Then defensive front-wise, you're wondering what the heck happened with those guys. It's not like they weren't coached to know that Jalen Hurts was going to try to work the edges, this, that, and the other. And so where was that? It's like they had no discipline. And you saw not great games from Demario Davis and not a great game from Quan Alexander. And now you're going up against a team that can do it to you worse. And so if you lose 2 games in a row, we're not talking just you're going to lose the number 1 seed. You might fall behind the Rams, or the Seahawks. So seeding becomes an issue in the sense that you probably might fall into playing the better teams if you keep losing. And so I think that's a bigger picture. Let's see if they can rebound against the Chiefs, and that is the tallest of tasks here.
Larry Holder on Twitter at Larry Holder, theathletic.com/New Orleans. Let's spend a couple of minutes on this upcoming game. I mean, was this defensive performance for the Saints a one-off, or do we see the best defense in the NFL limit the best offense in the NFL this weekend?
I'm not sure if anyone can hang with Tyreek Hill, so I'm curious to see how they counteract that, because usually you see someone like Marshawn Lattimore shadow him. But what do? You probably want to put 2 on him, right? As far as a corner and a safety. That leaves Travis Kelce. That leaves a bunch of other weapons, and that's why the Kansas City Chiefs are the Kansas City Chiefs. So we all knew that this was going to be a problem matchup. But the fact that they let people run free in the first half, it reminded me of earlier in the season when people were just running free, and Kansas City thrives on that. So can you stop that? I don't know. They cannot afford to get into a track meet, especially if Taysom Hill, which I assume is going to be the quarterback, they cannot allow themselves to get into a track meet. The defense has to play well, has to shut down Kansas City in spots. And it's not like Kansas City's infallible, but look, Kansas City is still Kansas City. They're the Super Bowl champs. They have the biggest weapons in football. And if they don't stop them, this could get ugly.
Do you have an update on Drew Brees?
Not much more than what we've all heard. I mean, there's been a lot of chatter. Look, even from Sean Payton and podcasts, this, that, and the other, even Drew Brees himself. I don't think they know. Today would be the typical day you'd like to know, because they're game planning and they want to decide who they're going to be game planning for. But it's not like they can't change on the fly if Drew Brees is ready to go. But I just think that Drew Brees might not be ready to go, and that's a concern, because I think we see now, not just points-wise, because it's not like the Saints are scoring a ton of points with Taysom Hill as quarterback. Tempo, the functioning of the offense, I think you see now more than we had even with Teddy Bridgewater, when he was quarterback, as far as backup quarterbacks, that they missed Drew Brees.
One of the things, and Larry, last thing, I mean, candidly, I loved Philly and the points this week. I actually broke one of my own Cardinal rules, and I played a Saints game, which I never do because I don't trust myself emotionally. But I loved Philly and the points because I think we've overemphasized the Saints offense. They haven't scored a bunch against bad defenses. 21, 24 against Atlanta. It's just, you throw out the Denver game altogether. I wasn't surprised. Do you think the Saints, with Taysom Hill, can score, if you're breaking down that matchup, can score against the Chiefs? If they get into a game like last year with the Saints and the Niners, that was just, matching score for score, can the Saints offense play that game against this Chiefs defense?
Well, no. But I do think the Chiefs defense isn't vaunted like maybe the Eagles defense. And vaunted is a strong word. I'm just saying the Eagles defensive line, I don't think Saints fans understood it. It was on par, if not better, than the Saints defensive front. So I think people needed to understand that. And I don't think as many people did. And you saw what happened. But you can't play catch up with the Chiefs. There's no way. Drew Brees might be able to do it. Might be able to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if Taysom Hill could do it. And so you need the defense to play stops. I'm with you. I thought it was going to be a low-scoring game, Saints-Eagles, and it ended up kind of being that way in terms of NFL-wise. But still, look, I think your suspicions are right. What was right with the Eagles game, obviously you won money. And are right in saying that with the way that this Saints offense, if Taysom Hill's a quarterback, they're not equipped to be high-flying and play catch-up. They're just not.
You can read all about it. TheAthletic.com/New Orleans. He's on Twitter at Larry Holder, and he's with us each Tuesday during the football season. Hopefully next Tuesday is more pleasant. We'll talk then. Thanks, man.
You got it, and I'm still a Kyle Trask believer.
You shouldn't be. I try to warn you. Get rid.
I still am. I mean, it's one game.
Look, I wasn't going to go there today, but
one game.
I will continue. It's amazing what happened when he didn't have Kyle Pitts. Looked really, really pedestrian, didn't he?
Well, he goes to the NFL. He'll have a Kyle Pitts and then some.
Against NFL defenses, and not everybody's got a Kyle Pitts, Hoss. To be continued, but I have to go. Thank you, Larry.
Bye-bye.
See ya. It's After Further Review.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, 2 locations, Nicholson and Bluebonnet. Dine in, carry out. Gift cards, gift cards, gift cards, gift cards, gift cards. You need a gift for a sports fan in your life? Pluckers gift card. You need a gift for the person on your list that loves chicken wings? Pluckers gift card. You need a gift card for someone on your list that loves to eat food, which should be every living human being? Pluckers. Nicholson or Bluebonnet, award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. If you need a place to watch the game, Pluckers. If you're going to the game, Pluckers is a great spot before or after. Nicholson, just south of campus, this Saturday, LSU Ole Miss, the finale. If you're not going to be in Tiger Stadium, you might as well be at Pluckers. If you are going to Tiger Stadium, before or after, make sure you stop in, get a bite to eat, grab a draft beer, a cocktail, whatever it may be. It's Pluckers. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine in, carry out. You don't like our wings? We'll give you the bird.
Toyotathon is happening right now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Get into a 20 Camry for $297 a month. Come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Call for a free quote to see how much you can save. 293-0450. After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
I'll go around the SEC in just a quick second, wrapping up the hour. Julie Baudouin on Twitter. Just tweeting a bit ago, change of heart. Zachary wide receiver Chris Hilton Jr. will sign his letter of intent with LSU tomorrow at 3:30 instead of waiting until February. She is citing a source close to the situation. So he is Louisiana's #1 wide receiver from nearby Zachary. Massive part of this class for LSU. His dad, of course, last week was very public with his displeasure with some of the criticism of Eric Gilbert, including some of the folks on this station. I'm not here to cast stones one way or another. That was just a very public sentiment he made, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. But those issues, whatever they were, apparently have been ironed out between Chris Hilton and the LSU staff or whatever was there, and he is going to sign tomorrow, and that is a massive, massive deal for LSU to get the best wide receiver in the state in the boat tomorrow. All right, it's after further review. A little out of order, but no biggie. Shea Dixon is going to be with us in 9 minutes from right now to talk about the early signing period, which begins tomorrow. That's coming up shortly. Right now, though, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Vanderbilt Commodores.
It's official. Vandy has hired Notre Dame defensive coordinator Clark Lee as their new head coach. Lee is a Nashville native, finished his college career as a fullback at Vanderbilt. He's expected to be introduced next week. He'll stay with Notre Dame for their game Saturday against Clemson. Lee is 38, replaces Derek Mason. Vandy on Monday canceled this week's game against Georgia. They finished the season 0-9.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Carolina's Board of Trustees has approved a 5-year contract for new head coach Shane Beamer. The average salary, $2.75 million, making him the lowest paid head coach in the SEC. Beamer's buyout, 65% of the annual guaranteed compensation if he's fired without cause. 43 years old, been an assistant for 21 years. A first-time head coach coming to South Carolina from Oklahoma.
The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn has formally hired Parker Executive Search Firm out of Atlanta to assist in their search for Gus Malzahn's replacement. The school also put together an 8-member advisory committee to provide guidance as Auburn looks for Malzahn's replacement. Oh, Jackson is on that committee, by the way. Same firm that helped hire then offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey in 2017. So really great track record there.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Outside linebacker Jermaine Johnson has entered the NCAA transfer portal. 6'5", 240, started 3 games this season. Second on the team with 5 sacks. Came to the Bulldogs from a junior college before the 2019 season. Johnson is the 5th Georgia player to enter the transfer portal this year.
The Texas A&M Aggies.
A&M sophomore safety Damani Richardson, who missed the Auburn game with injury, practicing this week, doing well, according to Jimbo Fisher. Richardson also missed the South Carolina game after testing positive for COVID-19. And the Texas A&M offensive line among 11 semifinalists for the Joe Moore Award. A&M is at Tennessee this week.
The Florida Gators.
And Florida's released an update on junior forward Keontae Johnson, who, of course, collapsed on the court Saturday during the game against Florida State. Successfully transferred from Tallahassee Memorial to the UF Health in Gainesville. He continues to be in critical but stable condition. USA Today reported Monday that Johnson had been in a medically induced coma. Not yet reported what caused Johnson's collapse. There you have it. That is Around the SEC. Presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. We'll knock out a break. Sportscenter coming up. Shea Dixon right after the top of the hour.
AFR.
Love telling you about GMFS Mortgage, especially now. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFS, my guy, Doug Bickley over at GMFS, my own personal lender, called me last week, said, hey, think we can refi you at a 2.6. I was at 3.85. Getting a 2.65. Getting in the twos. Had another listener say, Matt, they got me at 2.25. Money's almost free right now, y'all. Well, as we're going through this process now, it's so easy. They text me, here, look, I need this document. You can upload it here. Here's your login. Like, they make it, that's Greek to me. I don't speak that language, but they hold my hand the entire way, all the way to close. I've been through this process now 3 times with GMFS, and they're so professional and perfect every time. Y'all take advantage of these historically low rates. Get in touch with a local loan officer at GMFS Mortgage. See if they can save you money every month by lowering your monthly mortgage payment. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage. Changing lives.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
They are exactly the same.
They're identical. Actually, they're not. House 2 also has antioxidant vitamin C.
Antioxidant?
Then we'll take House 2.
Given the choice, why wouldn't you choose the one with antioxidant vitamin C? Choose Vizzy Hard Seltzer.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting? Speeding or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
This is Sportscenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. At this hour, the Bucks making sure that Giannis Antetokounmpo isn't going anywhere anytime soon. He announced on social media today he'll sign a 5-year extension with the Bucks, largest contract in NBA history. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting the full 5-year, $228 million Supermax includes an opt-out after the 4th year. Giannis isn't the only one this is a big day for, explains Woj.
For John Horster, general manager and owner Mark Lazary, this is a huge coup for Milwaukee, and I think for smaller market teams all over the NBA to be able to keep a player of this stature, this is a big day for the Bucks.
Even though he still wants to trade to a contender, James Harden is set to make his Rockets preseason debut tonight against the Spurs. Michigan canceled its finale against Iowa because of COVID-19 concerns, so the Wolverines finished 2-4, their first losing season in 6 years. Team won't likely take part in a bowl game. Virginia Tech football coach Justin Fuente will return for a 6th season with the Hokies. Second to last college football playoff rankings of the season released tonight, 7 Eastern exclusively on ESPN TV and the ESPN app.
We're back on Wednesday reacting to the latest college football playoff rankings. Everyone is disrespecting my USC Trojans. I will tell you why. They should be ranked higher. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Oh, Brain. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Tomorrow begins the early signing period for college football. And, man, LSU got a giant wave of momentum which to ride into tomorrow's signing period. Shea Dixon, Go 24/7, good enough to join us. Shea, thanks, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? I'm not tired yet, I guess, so that's good.
I figured I should catch you today because tomorrow probably won't be possible. Let's start with Saturday. How big was Saturday, from what you can tell talking to recruits or families? How big was Saturday for tomorrow?
You know, I was just listening to you say that on the intro, and it reminded me of last week when I thought they didn't have a shot to win, but I said they have such a rare opportunity here to salvage, in a way, what these kids might be thinking about the direction of the program by going out and beating the number 6 team in the country just 3 days before they sign. That never happens. They do sign in the early period right now, but the SEC championship's already been over for a week. Certainly your regular season's long been over. And now you're going through this odd time period of playing games literally right before these kids will sign. And then again, a few days after. But I'm seeing more positive momentum right now than I anticipated this week. They're going to end up picking up signees on Wednesday from not just one, but likely multiple guys that I don't think before the Florida game we would have said, oh, they're definitely going to end up at LSU. Now, is it only because they beat Florida? No, I think the staff is doing a really good job of closing right now. But, boy, that win helps in a big way. And Orgeron said it, that the phones on Sunday, guys are picking up a lot more quickly, and guys are calling you a lot more often when you were dominating the headlines in prime time. And we, look, all of us, we were there a year ago. They dominated the headlines every day of every week, and we saw what it meant for recruiting even as tough as this year has been, that one win right before the kids put pen to paper can really help out.
Okay, Shea, so they got 19 committed. Ed Ogeron was asked the question on Monday, and he expected somewhere between 15 and 19 to sign. What do you expect that number to be tomorrow? How many prospects sign with LSU?
I think that it's one of those things where a handful, like for instance, Chris Hilton was going to wait. That's some big news to go ahead and say right now. His father told me, and then Chris tweeted out that they'd been doing some debating, in recent days of should they wait until February to sign or not. And this is a Baton Rouge kid. And I think when you're a Baton Rouge kid, you're part of the whole bubble that we're all in, right? I mean, we hear everything. We talk about it all. It's on the radio all day. And because of that, and he's not an early enrollee, you can just sign in February. You can then at least see, is there any more stuff to self-reported violations, or is there anything more to go with potential coaching changes that could affect him? But ultimately, his dad said that, look, it was a lot of hard talks with mom, a lot of hard talks with kind of the family in general of, yes, we want you to be at LSU, but where, is it best to sign now or is it best to wait? And look, this is what LSU's dealing with everything, right, Matt, of the different, whether it's stuff being written Title IX or self-reported allegations. These are things that right around signing day are going to have people pausing and asking LSU a lot of questions. And I'm not privy to all of those conversations, but it seems as though LSU's done a good job of quelling any concerns, or at least giving the most truthful answers they can to as much as they can, open up about, because we haven't seen mass defections from guys. So I think Hilton going ahead and signing tomorrow is really good news for LSU in so many ways. He's a baller, top 100 player, but it also shows one more guy who's committed and is in and is buying what the staff is planning and selling going forward. But there's a couple of guys that won't. Rohan Davey is going to wait till February, a linebacker out of California who has been one of the more vocal guys. And he has said it's simply about, more than anything, waiting to see if there's coaching changes. And he said, look, I'm not giving an opinion on any of the coaching changes. I get along with Pelini great, but I'm a linebacker and I play defense. So I'm sort of directly involved into whatever could or could not happen in the coming months. So you would understand why he's waiting. JoJo Earl, a wide receiver out of Texas, he's in the middle of Alito's playoff run. He doesn't talk much about recruiting. One of those that kind of just goes with the flow of it all behind and just talks to coaches, and that's it. But I think that he could end up not signing tomorrow. And then Kari G, the safety out of Atlanta, has said over the past 24 hours, really, that he's going to wait until February. He's a guy who perhaps he winds up in another class. Maybe he does sign with LSU. But I think when you get into that deep February spot, and you're a team like LSU, Matt, Orgeron's talked about roster management more in the past 2 weeks than he has in 3 or 4 years with the media and the importance of it. They've got to be smart about how they fill these 25 spots. And that's why every one of them's at a premium. And that's why we're seeing a lot of fluid movement here at the end.
So with 19 commits, if Davis, Earl, and G don't commit, that puts you at 16. Any others that they could add tomorrow that are not currently committed?
Yeah, I'm doing all the numbers in my head, right. So they're back down to 16. Those 3 are correct, with Hilton going ahead and wanting to sign tomorrow. So the 2 big ones that can get you to 18, and I don't mean to gloss over the first name, but are Mason Smith and Demarius McGee. McGee being a corner, a top 10 corner out of Florida, who was almost a must regardless. And then when Nathaniel Wiggins flipped to Clemson this past weekend from LSU, it left him with no cornerback commitments, and obviously quite an undesirable position to be in. So McGee is going to be a big one. I've got my crystal ball picked in there on LSU.
And that's tomorrow? That's tomorrow?
That is.
Okay.
Yeah, 11:45 Central on ESPN2. He's part of their signing day stuff. So if fans want to tune into that, you can catch that right before noon. And then the big one, 3:30, Mason Smith down on the Bayou will reveal his choice. I think that, in my opinion, LSU, I think, could have won out regardless here. But I think that it would have been a much more wild recruitment had the dead period not been in place for the final 9 months. I mean, this was a kid in Mason who was already taking a lot of visits. He would have taken all 5 officials. George has done a great job recruiting him. Bama, Miami, there had been other teams in there, but at the end of the day, LSU has made him such a priority. The most common LSU for, casual LSU fan who may know the name of one or two of the recruits out there know who Mason Smith is. And a 5-star D lineman, it's just been that big of a deal for them to make him part of this class. And I think we're 24 hours out from that being official.
Shea Dixon on Twitter at Shea Dixon Go 24/7. So if they add the corner out of Florida, they add Mason Smith. The other name that's popping is, and I know I asked you last time, but it's the number 1 JUCO linebacker in the country. I think just decommitted from Mississippi State. Help me?
Navon Tech Strong. I'm just surprised that you remembered we talked about him, let alone that you knew what he was up to in the past 30 minutes.
Well,
this
because
is impressive stuff.
Shay, I told you, whenever we get to signing day, I know what I need to know. But I think I called him like Navonta Q because it's a QUE at the end. But so Navon Tech?
I believe so, but
right.
Maybe I'm making that up.
All right. Well, you would know better than me. So anyway, what's the story there?
Navon Tech Strong. So he's at Mississippi Gulf Coast. He's the number 1 middle linebacker, number 1 JUCO linebacker in the country. He'll be a middle linebacker type, but led the team in tackles. Had been committed to Mississippi State for a long time, but right after Thanksgiving, LSU offered. They really buckled down in a big way with saying, "Hey, we need an immediate immediate, kind of impact guy at the middle linebacker spot." We saw him do it a year ago with Jabril Cox. If Cox ends up moving on, then you've got guys like Baskerville and Clark. Do they both stick around? And we haven't really seen much yet from guys like Josh White or Sampa. So linebacker is a bit of an unknown, even with having Greg Penn coming in tomorrow as a 4-star linebacker signee and Rajon Davis being committed and signing in February. A guy like Strong gives you some really immediate help, right? And when he decommitted 24 hours out from signing day and, says, "I'm back open again," he's not going to go back to Mississippi State. I don't expect that, even though Mississippi can be wild for recruiting. I think it's all pointed to LSU. I went ahead and put in my crystal ball pick for LSU there. So I've got picks on those 3, Mason Smith, McGee at cornerback, and then Strong at linebacker. And I'm probably not far from another, which I think could make it a very eventful signing day.
Wow. Okay. So there's 19 committed. We're assuming that Davis, Earl, and G don't commit, but they add McGee, Smith, and Strong. That puts you back at 19, and then possibly one more, which could make 20, and that would be a massively impressive day. Okay, last thing before you go, everyone wants to know about the line, offensive line. They got 1 committed with Dellinger right now, or Dellinger, I think is how they say it. What do they do to add bodies on the offensive line? Because that has to be a priority.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to be interesting to see. Tristan Lee's going to sign with the school tomorrow, but no school will announce it, and they'll hold it until January 2nd. So you won't be checking the internet tomorrow and then seeing for sure where he's going, but I think that it'll begin to become clear in the coming weeks of which schools he did not pick or perhaps who he did. I think LSU in these 24 hours, they had their final Zoom call last night, but these 24 hours, you've got to sell him on immediate playing time. It's always been important to him. You're battling Oklahoma here. You're battling now Florida, coming off their visit this past weekend. It's too tight for me to call. I really couldn't tell you if I had to guess. Maybe Oklahoma. I hear the Florida buzz, and I look, my crystal ball pick's still on LSU. It's a very low confidence, and my next move might be moving it here before tomorrow. But they've been in it all along, and if they can close this, then it's the tackle they need. If not, they're going to have to go into January and February making offensive line a massive priority. As you said, if you're getting up to 20 commits, then some of those 5 spots need to be saved for high school O-linemen, JUCO O-linemen, transfer, whatever your approach or you feel the need is, do it, because that's going to be a position you really need to bulk up. And, hey, you didn't even ask me who my other prediction was. I was just going to give it to you before I even did it.
Well, you know what, Shay? I was respecting the fact that you may not want to throw that out here, but God bless you if you want to for our audience. That'd be awesome.
No, I actually do respect that because normally I wouldn't. But this one's kind of been out there and buzzing. But Kevin Falk's got him in it with Armani Goodwin, a top 5 running back who he's always been LSU Auburn, but was always committed to Auburn. And a few weeks back, he opened things back up and said, let me just take one last look around. And he looked at LSU's, looked at some other schools, and then people around Hewitt Trustville in Alabama said, look, he's probably going to wind up back at Auburn. And Gus Malzahn gets fired on Sunday. And I think the floodgates opened a bit after that. And I think the water started pouring out towards Baton Rouge, to be honest, because it became clear, at least from those around him, that it was an LSU-Auburn battle. And look, he could well end up at Auburn, maybe. I just don't see it because now he has gone on record and say, I will sign tomorrow. I'm not going to wait till February. I'm going to do it at 6 p.m. And unless Auburn's announcing a head coach tomorrow before 6 p.m. and who the entire staff is, it's tough for me to see a kid say, sure, I'll sign, but I have no idea who's going to be coaching my position group or my OC or my head coach. And you could understand why Auburn fans right now are biting all their fingernails off, wondering how you hold on to these commitments. That could be good news for LSU. Hey, they've already got Mr. Football out of Ohio committed and signing tomorrow at running back in Corey Kiner. You go out and get an Armani Goodwin, and that gives you 2 top 10 backs. That's a nice boost late in the game to the running back room. But we'll see. I haven't put in my pick yet, but I'm monitoring.
A no doubt very uneventful 24 hours ahead for Shea Dixon. Make sure you're following it all at Go247. He's on Twitter at Shea Dixon. Shea, you're the best, man. I appreciate a couple of minutes. Thanks so much.
Well, I appreciate you always having me on.
You got it, man. We'll see you. That is Shea Dixon. Again, on Twitter at Shea Dixon. Y'all give him a follow. It's pretty good news there, man. Massive opportunity for this coaching staff to show the collective college football world that the ship is very much, in spite of all of the fluid nature of this season, the ship is very much still pointed in the right direction in Baton Rouge. All right, it's after further review. Dudley Feinswag next.
AFR.
We are inching closer to Christmas, and Clegg's Nursery has all the decor and gift ideas that you could possibly want if you have a gardener on your list. Now, listen, let's talk decor first. It is the 15th today, so we are talking 10 days. 10 days until Christmas. If you want poinsettias to decorate for the Christmas party at the office or the house, go to Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations, they've got tons of them there. It's a great chance to go get it. By now, you should have your Christmas tree up, but if you want decor to decorate for that Christmas party at your home or at the office, go to Clegg's Nursery. Indoor and outdoor, they've got you. Clegg's Nursery. And remember, if you have a gardener on your list, Clegg's Nursery. Get a gift card. It's a great idea. You can think outside the box. They have things like bird feeders, a citrus tree, so many great wind chimes. They have tuned wind chimes. Check it out at Clegg's Nursery, any of the 4 locations. Seagander Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare. at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but 2 NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Call for a free quote to see how much you can save. 293-0450. After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Lee Feinswag joins us. Hi, Lee.
Hello, Matt. I like the quick change in music there. Like they had some little tune, and then it was like, we got to get the old Sports 225 theme up.
That's exact. Well, it's the old Sports Monday theme. But that's...
that as well.
No, I know. But that's what literally exactly what Brain did. He went, oh, shoot, because he played the wrong thing. And then he fixed it. Okay, Did you watch LSU basketball yesterday?
No, I did not. I forgot all about it, and realized when I watched the evening news that LSU had played, and 11 o'clock against Sam Houston. Anyway, I was not available to have watched it anyway, had I had the opportunity. But another game against just an okay team, and more good numbers, and a victory.
Yeah.
And a victory.
No Trendon Watford, no Sharif O'Neal. You show off more of your depth and more of a commitment on the defensive end. 3 straight games now.
The second LSU major sport in a row where people you didn't expect to step up and play got their opportunities and took the most of it. If you talk to these kids who are coming in, and the young players who play LSU football or LSU basketball or any sport anywhere in the country, hey, you think you're ready? Oh, yeah. A lot of times they're not, but they want the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And when a door closes, another one opens in sports, Matt. It happens all the time.
So
and good for the kids who stepped up.
I'll get to football in a second. I don't want to leave basketball. Don't redirect me yet.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I won't. I'm not redirecting you at all.
You were. You were trying to, and I'm not done. I'm not done here yet. And then
okay.
We'll
I'm looking at the box score right now.
We got a lot to get to. All right. We got a lot to get to here. Just simmer down now. I'm the host. Let me ask the questions. Okay. Simmer down now. All right. So,
yes, sir.
Specifically with respect to this basketball team,
mm-hmm.
Are you willing to change your thought yet because of the very clear demonstration of depth and talent on this roster and an increased commitment on the defensive end?
Well, I'd like to see them all together, obviously. Josh LeBlanc, first game, correct?
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, look at this. Makes both of his shots from the field, 8 rebounds. That's nice. That's real good to have a guy come off the bench and be, do something like that. Wani Wilkinson.
Yeah.
Yep.
He can soar.
Nice. Yep. And so let me get, maybe, and let me do a little bit more evaluating of the SEC. And so maybe next Tuesday I'll have a little more ammunition for you.
You're the guy who said I could tell you after 2 games exactly how many they're going to win. I told you 2 weeks ago, Lee. I said, hey, we haven't even seen the full roster. They're still going to get more guys. They haven't even seen they're going to get better.
And you're not incorrect there, but they're playing people who are just not good.
Well, that's every year at this point. And you say you can do it in 2 games.
Okay, let me.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Well, they can prove me wrong. We'll see.
Okay.
It's still early.
All right.
Okay.
LSU football.
Can I say one thing?
Okay.
About football.
This guy. I tell you, this guy.
No, it's something I've been wanting to get off my
go
chest
ahead.
to you since we talked about it last week and then all week.
I'm ready.
So the phrase now is opt out.
Yeah.
Opt out. If you choose not to play, and if you're a football player, a basketball player, whatever, and you choose to take a season off for either you're going to redshirt, or you're taking a medical, or you're just stopping because you're going to train for the draft and you're not going to play the college sport anymore. It's pretty much those three things, right?
Sure.
I say you're quitting. Now, I don't begrudge the athletes anything. I want them to get everything they can get. Prepare for the draft, take advantage of yourself, help your family, do whatever's best, get ready to transfer, do whatever. But when you are opting out, you are quitting. And I wish that was the word that people would use. So-and-so quit the LSU football team. Because that's what they did. They quit the team.
Okay.
It's not opt out. Opt out is the silliest phrase ever.
Ever?
Thank you. I feel better now.
Ever?
It's right up. Oh, it's right up there. Well, except for that one beer we had that time called Odie McGoatface.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you laughed.
Did I?
I don't remember what brewery it was. Yeah,
Me
Odie McGoatface. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So LSU football.
Were you more impressed with the win Saturday or the 1993 LSU win over Alabama the day that pigs flew?
Oh, the one at Alabama, when pigs flew. It was much more significant. This season, I discount everything.
Really?
Everything. Although
because the players sure looked like they were excited, like it mattered.
They should be, and I would not respect them if they did play. And again, it goes back to what we talked about earlier. Doors opened up for players you didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
And what an exciting, fun sporting event that was. And of course, I've seen everything, right? I mean, at one point or another, and as long as I've been watching sports, whether as a kid all the way through a professional career, and you've seen everything until the guy threw the shoe. When I was a boy in high school, there was a really important New York Rangers Toronto Maple Leafs hockey game at Madison Square Garden, and a player named Vic Hatfield, in a big fight, grabbed the goalie's mask and threw it in the crowd.
Who?
And the game was delayed forever. The crowd at the Garden was chanting, "Don't give it back. Don't give it back." That was the only thing I could think of that was as kooky as that. That was really strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very strange. I mean, that's not the first time we've ever seen someone do something like that, kick a ball or throw a shoe or a helmet or something like that. But for it to be in that moment of the game where that literally threw the momentum back to LSU. I mean, Florida's off the field. They're about to get the ball, and their Heisman candidate quarterback's about to go lead the game-winning drive, and they're going to win and pull it out at the end, and he throws a shoe. Marco Wilson, in infamy, like the idiot last year from Ole Miss who did the leg lift thing, which allowed Mississippi State to win the Egg Bowl.
Oh, but him throwing that ball, that shoe is kind of like, you think of Chris Webber in the timeout.
Yeah.
You'll never think of Chris Webber for his great, and then later in the pros, you'll always think of him calling timeout and costing Michigan the national championship
like Bill Buckner
against North Carolina. You'll think about this kid, no matter what he ends up doing in life, he'll always be the guy who threw the shoe.
In these parts, that's true. Nationally, probably not so much. But here, when people say Marco Wilson, they'll be like, yep, the shoe thrower. The shoe thrower.
Hey, is there anything more exciting than a field goal from down to win a game? That's so cool. Good for him. He just got all that ball.
That was awesome. Would have been good from like 65.
It certainly would have been good from 60 for sure. Maybe 61, 62. It was way up there. It was fabulous.
Lee Feinswag is our guest. Before I forget, what's coming up on Sports 225 this week?
Well, interesting that you say that, because you had mentioned that you might want to talk about the USA Today stories about LSU and the sexual assault charges in the Title IX.
Yeah.
Nancy Armour, those stories, is one of my guests. And then
he's at a loss of words. All right, Lee's phone is not doing so hot. We got to do our beer thing. Can you please get him back? I did want to do our beer thing, and I wanted him to talk about the USA Today thing. I tell you what, Brain, let me do this. Let me break. Hey, Brain, I want to break. Want to break? We'll come so we stay on time here. Let me break. We'll come back and let Lee do his beer thing. I do want to get his thoughts on the USA Today thing. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network. That is the Baton Rouge General Hospital. If you need COVID-19 information, it's right there on the homepage. Of course, vaccines are starting to be distributed as that process continues to happen in this part of the country. Make sure you're following along at brgeneral.org to get whatever info you need. Right there, easy to use tool on the left side of the homepage. If you want to find a doctor, get directions, schedule an appointment, see your records, pay your bill, donate, get an estimate, find a job, it's all right there for you at brgeneral.org. Very easy to use, easy to navigate website there, brgeneral.org, where you can learn about all of the medical options that they have available, including virtual visits. A lot of people still having trouble getting out to see a doctor. If you need to see your physician, virtual visits are available at brgeneral.org. Part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org.
Toyotathon is happening right now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Get into a 20 Highlander for $4,600 off MSRP. Come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4Kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Call for a free quote to see how much you can save. 293-0450. After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
There are sports books that are refunding bettors after the end of last night's Monday Night Football game. Ravens, Browns. If you didn't see it, the Ravens won a wild back-and-forth affair. Cleveland tried a 15 lateral play that ended in a safety, which allowed Baltimore to cover the 3-point spread. Ended up it was a 45-42 game. So anyway, the lateral back and forth ended up allowing the Ravens to cover the spread. So there are sports books that have refunded bettors who had Cleveland plus the 3 in that situation or more. But anyway, I don't know. It's a bad beat for sure. But bad beats are bad beats. They happen. So, but anyway, congrats to those who lost but win anyway. All right, we lost Lee. His phone was bad, and he does so much research for us on his beer. I wanted to make sure we got there. Before we do that, though, Lee, the latest USA Today report, for those that haven't seen it, there are more allegations from USA Today. I don't know. It kind of feels like the story is the same story. They keep retelling in multiple different ways. But the latest does involve now Sharon Lewis in the football office. So do you have a overall feeling on the USA Today, what is being reported, what is being alleged, and where this might lead?
Well, for starters, what was the last thing you heard when I said, did I before the break? And by the way, what a thrill to hear the theme song twice in the same interview.
Your phone just crapped out before you were even going into anything.
Okay. So you asked me who was on Sports 225 this week.
Yeah, you mentioned Nancy Armour, and then you kind of went away.
Oh, okay, good. As long as you heard that Nancy Armour was coming on. Good. I have not spoken to her personally yet about the story. We just exchanged some texts, and I'm curious to see how this originated and the process. But the two stories are damning to LSU in so many ways. Now, I know Nancy. I don't know the other two people, Kenny Jacoby and Jessica Luther, but I know that Nancy's a top of the line journalist. And so, and for the women to have come forth and put themselves out there and gone public with this, their complaints, I certainly would err on their side. This is a damning report for everybody at LSU who's mentioned in both stories. And I ask you to look at it from this end. What if this were your daughter? Just incomprehensible that they weren't treated properly, and that not only was the actions that LSU took probably illegal, but so insensitive to what's going on. You combine that with the Reveille story last week, which is another really good piece of journalism about the LSU women's tennis team, and those are two really bad stories that make you think that there's a really bad culture there. And the football player in question, primarily in the two USA stories, Drake Davis.
Mm-hmm.
The last journalism award that I won back in the day when I was with the Advocate was writing about the LSU basketball infractions and all the problems that happened with Lester Earl. And Lester Earl, the gift that keeps on giving, Drake Davis, of course, his son.
Yeah.
So there's just, it's interesting that you were talking to Shea earlier about recruiting and how one football victory can be so important in the recruiting of players and how they can see that game Saturday and go, oh, well, that's going to make up my mind. And then a story like this, I don't know necessarily that it'll be bad for football, but LSU has to be proactive on this. I know there's an independent firm to which they're paying a lot of money to come up with answers, but I think that it not only the story's damning, but that the report that will come back from the company called the law firm Hush Blackwell will probably be as well.
When you talk to Nancy, tell her.
And what a segue from that to beer.
Well, when you tell Nancy, or when you speak to Nancy, certainly you can talk to her about her reporting, and she might be a good one at that, but she is absolutely awful columnist, and she needs to keep her opinions about football completely off of Twitter or anywhere, because she's a miserable opinion maker in that respect. So
you're not a fan of USA Today columnists.
Be sure to pass along those sentiments. No, she's a look, man. Her pointing the finger at parents allowing their kids to play is absurd. Like, she knows damn well better than any parent what they should do for their child. Who the hell is she to lob that kind of accusation? Like, she knows better. And to say, like, her and the other bozo, I forgot her name up there at USA Today, talking about how it's the worst day in the history of the Big Ten. Freaking losers. Are you kidding me? Like, with Jerry Sandusky raping kids and with the Larry Nassar scandal, playing football is the darkest day in the history of college football. These dopes, man, they all kick rocks, all up. So be sure to send my regards when you talk to her, to Nance, but tell her hell of a job, bang up job with the reporting in this. All right, you want to talk about beer? Because I need one.
Probably after the interview.
Yeah, please let her know. Okay, let's talk about beer.
Oh, watch this is the malted liquor. What gets you drunker quicker? What comes in bottles or in cans? Beer. Can't get enough of it. Beer. How we really love it. Beer. Makes me think I'm a man. Beer. I could kiss and hug it, but I'd rather chug it. Beer. Got my belly out to here. Beer. I could not refuse it. I could really use a beer. Beer. Beer.
All right, give me something strong, Lee. I need it.
Well, like the song says, you could really use a beer. You could really use a beer, Matt. And
I
can take a couple of these Stella Artois Midnight Lagers, and I'll put a couple in the fridge, and you can just swing by on your way from work and pick them up to take home if you want. Not
I'd rather just enjoy one. I want to enjoy one with you.
Oh, I'd be honored. I'll put them in the fridge right now. I mean, we're talking about an hour and 25 minutes. You'll be here.
All right.
Stella Artois Midnight Lager. I'd never heard of it, and I was, of all things, I saw it in Costco, and it was $25 for a 24-pack, and I was like, I think I can do this. So I picked it up, and what a pleasant surprise! And it's available other places, of course, as well. And Stella Artois, the regular beer, is just a nice beer. It's really good, and it's a black lager that's, as they say, savor the holiday season and celebrate with something truly special. Returning for year 2, Stella Artois Midnight Lager is an ode to 600 years of brewing expertise, brought to you in a beautifully balanced beer with subtle notes of dark chocolate, freshly brewed espresso, and a hint of smoke in the finish. 5.4% alcohol, not too strong, and it's it's not like a porter or a stout, and it's a little stronger than a lager, and just a fabulously good tasting beer. Stella Artois Midnight Lager.
Look at that. I do like Stella. Stella's one of my favorite beers. I do really enjoy a Stella. That is so different, though, that Midnight Lager. Look at that. Okay. We'll give it a go. All right, Lee. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging on through the phone drop there. Regards to Nancy Armour when you talk to her.
Sure, and I'll tell Christine Brennan hello.
Yeah, that's the other one. Kick rocks to her. she's the chief offender good night, alive.
Goodbye, Matt.
Anyway, bye, Lee. God heaven. Christine Brennan's the one that said it's the darkest day in Big Ten history. Never mind the fact that Jerry Sandusky's raping kids. The decision by consenting adults to play football, which, by the way, Christine, it's going just fine from us peons down here. Hope all's well in your ivory tower, you clown. Kick rocks, loser. Those two. Jesus. But USA Today is seriously doing the same damn thing Yahoo did with the Will Wade stuff. They're repackaging the same story 8 different ways to keep driving clicks and keeping it in the forefront of your minds. But there's not much new than what's been reported. Nancy Armour. Jesus. I'm going to tell you how to raise your kids. If you're a parent letting your kid play college football, you just don't get it. Freaking loser. Whatever. How does USA Today keep these people employed? I mean, you got someone who is a great, credible journalist, a talented writer, a guy like George Schroeder. You let him go to keep employing these yahoos who are so detached from reality? Look forward to seeing that rag go under in a few years. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001 for River City's 1 Hour Air. Remember, preseason heater safety checked. Great time to do it as the weather's getting cooler. 43 degrees tonight. It's been cold these last 2 days. You know you're turning on your heater. Make sure you call River City's 1 Hour Air. Let them take care of that heater. The heater safety check. Protect your home. Protect your family. This is standard maintenance you should get done every year when the weather starts to get cooler to make sure your heater is efficient and safe. River City's 1 Hour Air. And remember, they are hiring. They're always hiring technicians. So if you want a career instead of a job, if you're currently a technician whose company lays people off this time of year because they don't have enough work, River City's 1 Hour Air will never do that. You can create your own schedule. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001. Apply online or in person. onehourbr.com.
Do you know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who, without being asked, shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community? We believe that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust.
So, if you know someone that sounds like what Jordy was just describing, Nominate them to be your good citizen, and they'll have a chance to win $500 from Citizens Bank and Trust. Plus, we'll mention him right here on the show. So go to citizensbankandtrust.com for more details and nominate your good citizen.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Call for a free quote to see how much you can save. 293-0450. After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. As always, appreciate our friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana. Better coverage for less money. They're online at lainsurance.net. I tell you every single day. Make sure you shop. Let them shop to see if they can find you better coverage for less money. It is an easy process. It is a free process, and they are actually saving real-life people money. Brennan Kluka tweeted me earlier this week. It was on December the 11th. Was that this week? It was Saturday. Said Matt called. No, this would have been Friday. Matt called Carlene at Insurance Network of Louisiana a few weeks ago. They saved me $1,500 a year, all caps. Thank you. You could be next. Call Insurance Network of Louisiana, lainsurance.net, 293-0450, 293-0450. Okay, got the odds out for Saints Chiefs at the Dome this week. We'll get to that in a second. Right now, though, Brain has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Find them online at kysbesthemp.com.
Obviously starting off with last night's game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which one?
Browns-Ravens.
Oh. I thought you were talking about like China League basketball.
No, I don't have any Chinese basketball today.
Well, you're not working very hard then, Brain.
I do have basketball.
Do your job, Brain.
I do have basketball, just none of it Chinese.
Okay.
Jarvis Landry was good for 6 catches for 52 yards last night.
Heard of him.
Landry also completed a pass for 12 yards.
He's a lefty.
Yes, he is. He's now 4 for 4 passing on the season.
Pretty good.
74 yards and a touchdown, a quarterback rating of 158.3.
Touchdown was to Odell.
Yes, it was.
I know.
Also for the Browns, Jacob Phillips had 2 tackles.
How about that?
On the other side of the ball, Patrick Queen had 8 tackles last night. Queen now has 92 tackles on the season, which leads the Ravens.
I'm stunned that he doesn't seem to be the prohibitive favorite to be NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Weird, isn't it?
Chase Young is going to win it because he's Chase Young and he just scored a touchdown, but I don't know how Patrick Queen isn't going to win it because that is apparently just a reputation award if Queen doesn't win it.
92 tackles on the year.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, a day one starter. He scored a touchdown already this year. Cray.
Yep. Nas Reed did not play for the Minnesota Timberwolves in their preseason game.
For the Minnesota Timberwolves
that is also
night.
Correct. But Nas is getting closer.
Oh.
He had been self-isolating, but was actually on the court for the shoot-around, which
good.
I would assume implies the self-isolation is over with.
Good.
So he should be good to go next game.
Self-isolation is stupid. Nobody should do it. Go live your life.
Ben Simmons.
Ignore everybody that tells you not to. Just go live your life and be smart.
Ben Simmons is listed as the 76ers starting point guard for tonight. A lot of talk in the offseason about Ben Simmons is about him shooting more.
Did he?
Do what? Do what?
Oh, maybe you weren't here last basketball season.
What?
We would do that every time. Did Ben Simmons shoot a 3? Did he? Did he? I mean, I guess that was Muse. Muse probably did that while you were gone, and then you came back after, and then the NBA resumed. That's what happened.
Yes.
You weren't here. That was pre-COVID break when the world lost its damn mind and decided we were going to shut everything down, because people get the sniffles.
And we adopted phrases like self-isolation.
Yes. And global pandemic, which 10 months ago, nobody knew what the hell that meant, but now everybody uses it. And also social distancing. Think about the phrases that are part of our vernacular.
And that one's an oxymoron.
Nobody knew. Social distancing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so, isn't it?
It's like, it
kind of is.
Because it's kind of antisocial to distance.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. That is an oxymoron, like jumbo shrimp.
Yes.
You're an oxymoron.
So if everybody talking about wanting to see Ben Simmons shoot more, Doc Rivers is just really not sweating it.
Did it? So from now on, when you're doing Tigers and the pros, and you do the Sixers, and it's Ben Simmons, they go, did he? Did? That's what did he shoot a 3?
Answer's likely going to be no.
Okay.
And that's Tigers and the pros.
Presented by
KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com.
Somebody in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat yesterday said, stop with the stupid song. Presented by
KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com.
Now I'm going to do it more and really get my shoulders into it if you're watching.
Do what more? KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com.
Oh, man. Kentucky's Best Hemp. Save
30%.
Well, they have yes, by using AFR 30. But I was making sure because they do have like holiday promo codes right now as well. But use the AFR promo code, AFR 30, save 30%. And right now, free shipping on order over $50. So get online, pick up some hemp, some gummies, some honey sticks. You can get the little capsules, little gel caps. You got the dog treats. That's good stuff. It's Kentucky's Best Hemp. Online at
KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com.
All right. Glad you're hanging out with us here. The Saints are underdogs for the first time in the 2020 football season. Vegas lines are out. This is from a BetMGM. Saints underdogs. They are my plus. Hell, I had it. My bad, y'all. Where the hell is it? It was right here. 2.5. No, 2.5 was last year. Brain, do you have it in front of you? Gosh, dog it. I'm looking at this right here, and it doesn't. I had the thing in the place with the guy and the stuff, and I can't see it. My bad. All right, give me 2 seconds. That is really embarrassing. Saints are I thought it was 3.5, but I don't see it in front of me. It's 3. I guess it was 3.5. It's now down to 3, but the Saints are an underdog at home for the first time this season. Last time they were an underdog was the game in Dallas last September when the Saints were a 2.5-point dog. Right now, a 3-point dog at home against Kansas City on Sunday. We had Larry Holder on in the first hour, if you missed it, and I kind of asked him his thoughts on this game. And the Chiefs have kind of been this unstoppable force. Obviously, they're 12-1. Their lone loss was the game to the Raiders, where they lost at home, but that was a 40-32 game, so it was a score fest. So seemingly the Saints would have to keep pace. But I also think when they're playing at their normal pace, the Saints' defense is the best defense in the NFL, and if there is a defense equipped to slow Kansas City, it would be this one. I mean, we would have said the same thing going into the game against Tampa Bay. The second one, when Tampa was rolling offensively and the Saints held them to 3 points. If the Saints go and play their best game at home on Sunday, first game at home in a month, I think they can limit Kansas City. Can. Not necessarily predicting they will, but can. I think the bigger question is, for this Saints offense, if Drew Brees is not back, can they get going again when they really haven't in 4 games now under Taysom Hill? So can you win a game in the 20s? Can you keep it in the 20s and try to win? The only team that's been able to do that was the Chargers. And KC won that one in overtime, 23-20. All right, Rohan Davey joins us right after SportsCenter.
AFR.
Love telling you about the aesthetic medicine and anti-aging clinics of Louisiana because for me, going on a half decade now, where they've changed the way that I felt. We came home from the hospital with Drew. That completely zapped me, all the stress and fear and anxiety. That takes a physical toll on you, and it did on me. Simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. Our bodies naturally produce hormones that contribute to the way we feel. And as we age, every human, this happens differently at a different rate. Well, for me, it was accelerated because of a life experience. Could be the same for you. Stress ages us. And hormone replacement therapy has been a huge impact in my life. It's helped me feel younger. It's helped me sleep better at night. It's helped me have motivation to get in the gym. Gotten better results when I do work out. Same can be true for you. Online, theantiagingclinics.com. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, or online at theantiagingclinics.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
In an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Hello?
What's up, E? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg. Roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True. To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Toyotathon is happening right now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Get into a 20 Camry for $297 a month. Come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Main story of the day, Giannis is staying with the Bucks for the foreseeable future. Giannis Antetokounmpo announcing on social media he'll sign a 5-year extension with Milwaukee. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting it'll be for the full 5-year, $228 million Supermax. Includes an opt-out after the 4th year. The Giannis deal will lead players around the NBA to view the Bucks differently, believes ESPN's Paul Pierce.
When you have a great player in place as a foundation, it doesn't matter if you're Milwaukee. Like you said, it's how you run your organization. So now when free agency comes,
that's what I want.
Guys are going to look like, hey, I can go to Milwaukee and play because of Giannis signing this long-term deal and having great organization culture there.
Panthers running back Christian McCaffrey likely out Saturday against the Packers with a thigh injury. Michigan canceled its finale against Iowa because of coronavirus concerns. It'll be the Wolverines' first losing season since 2014. 2-4 Michigan won't likely participate in a bowl game. And the College Football Playoff Committee will reveal its second-to-last rankings of the season in 1 hour on ESPN TV and the ESPN app.
We're back on Wednesday reacting to the latest college football playoff rankings. Everyone is disrespecting my USC Trojans. I will tell you why. They should be ranked higher. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The Brain.
And the brain got a poof.
And Mr. Toby Topley. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. A much happier conversation today than last week with former LSU quarterback Rohan Davey.
Rohan Davey.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there.
It's now time to talk LSU football with former Tiger quarterback Rohan Davey. Presented by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. If it's on the lot, it's online at SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
Rohan, you ever seen a woman letting her concealer bake?
Yeah.
I just laugh at you laughing. What's up, man?
What's happening?
Are you tired?
Nah, man, I kind of like the weather got me a little bit.
Got it. Little sniffles? Yeah. Maybe you have COVID.
Yeah. No.
Maybe you do. Nobody wants to admit that. It's like a scarlet letter if you have COVID. But like everybody's had COVID.
Yeah, no.
I know. It's like, no, you get
or it's gonna have COVID.
Yeah, we've all had COVID. Hey, so last week I asked you a question, what LSU could do to fix it, and you said, well, they can't really fix it. I'm paraphrasing. But you said, in reference to 99, played a bunch of guys for the first time, and it got them real excited. Basically giving guys their opportunity instead of guys who aren't, have been used to losing. And I'll be damned, Ro, it kind of looked like that's what happened on Saturday. Max Johnson, Dwight McGlothern, Trey Bradford, right? I mean, am I right there? It seems like you finally had a bunch of guys getting their first go, and they played their ass off.
Yeah. That's what happens, man. You get a bunch of guys that haven't played, and they're excited to go out and play. And not just them, man. Guys, when you ask how I thought that guys would play and things like that. I mean, I knew that I figured that they would come out and play hard. And, I mean, that's just what you do. You're a competitor. You know what I mean? Even if you're young, you have all these accolades and these stars and what have you, and you had a big-time university. You're going to come out and, give your best effort. And you saw that. You saw excitement from the guys getting an opportunity to play. Definitely saw it from Max. And you saw guys rallying around each other, patting each other on the back. And it's similar to what I was saying, to get guys to hang around, to get guys to stay at the end of the year and not transfer. When you have guys get those opportunities like they did this past weekend, it's exciting for everybody, and now you see everybody try to at least pull in one direction, and it gives you that little, sort of guys happy for a change, man, instead of just the same thing every week. So I was happy to see those guys get an opportunity.
No doubt, man. Okay, you alluded to Max there.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on his first start?
I thought I thought he looked good. I thought he looked good. Showed some moxie, showed some poise. You definitely saw the difference in the two guys as far as like the talent that they both have. They both have a specific set of skill set that are specific to them. TJ's size, strength, big arm, Max. Coach's son, you saw the touch on the football, not the same arm strength, but you saw the mobility. You saw the ability to move the pocket, throwing from different launch points and stuff like that. So I thought Max played well, man. I thought the people around him, most importantly, played well also. That definitely made his job a lot easier. I thought his start, as far as like poise and just showing that he could run the offense, showing that, he's definitely been paying attention. He hasn't just been, picking his nose the last few weeks. While TJ was playing, you saw him engage, and I was very, very pleased. I wasn't surprised by how he played. I was very, very pleased by how he played. I think he was very clean with the operation. This late in the season, after all he's seen, I expected him to saw the mistakes that TJ has made, saw the mistakes that Miles has made early on in the season. And a smart guy, he learned from all that. So I thought he looked well, man, and I was pleased. And it just created a lot more competition for me.
SEC Offensive Player of the Week. Can you draw any wide-ranging conclusions from Max Johnson's first start?
No.
Okay, why not?
Because it was his first start.
Okay, so I want you to elaborate because talked about this a bit on the postgame show. We were having a similar conversation about TJ after they put up 52 against South Carolina, and then even Arkansas, right? Game-winning drive in the rain in the final 2 minutes.
Right.
But that was South Carolina and Arkansas. This was on the road at Florida, the number 6 team in the country. So why can't you draw?
Yeah, it don't matter because no one's seen him. It's the same mantra I had with TJ after his first start and he played well or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm not saying it don't matter. Let me not say that. It does matter. But the first one, when no one has seen you, when you're going out for the first time, no one thinks that, I ain't going to let this white boy run around the corner on me. And that's what Florida's thinking. That's what they're looking at. They're not looking at, we have this respect for Max or this respect for TJ or whatever. They're not looking at it like that. So your first start is always going to be that surprise. It don't matter if it's Florida, Auburn, Middle Tennessee State, whoever it is. The competition is different, absolutely, and the talent level, absolutely. But them seeing you for the first time, them putting them eyes on you, them knowing that you're left-handed, them knowing that you're going to escape left and not right because you are left-handed. But most quarterbacks that you face are right. Most people are right-handed. So, of course, quarterback's the same way. So it's all those little things. And I'm not taking anything away from the kid. It's the same way I feel about when TJ had his first start. Show it to me again now once we've seen you the second week. Now, Ole Miss gets the chance to see you on film. I want to see how you're going to react to now they see you on film, and now they're taking away, this part of your game. How we're gonna counter to that. So I'm excited for what he displayed, but it's the same. I feel the same way about TJ. I'm not going to anoint anyone the starter or the future or anything like that until you get it's one game.
What else?
Just get another one under your belt and continue that consistent play. That's how we get judged as quarterbacks.
What else did you like and what didn't you like from Max's first start?
Well, he had times where you knew he was a freshman. Still had times where he was jacking the ball off and running around a little bit and holding it too long, trying to wait for the big play. You still saw the freshman things, but what you saw about him, what I saw about him, what I liked was the command, the good touch that he has on the ball. That touch pass he threw in the back of the end zone, that was a very difficult pass. I understand that the guy was wide open, but you had a guy in between him. Most quarterbacks either airmail it or throw it right to the damn defender. So I was excited. Just little things like that. Like I forgot who said it, but he does. You see like the little things within him that you say, okay, he's a quarterback's son. And that goes a long way. It's the same thing we saw with Joe being, dad ingrained in football, him being ingrained in it for that long. It's something to be said about that when you come from that kind of pedigree. So you definitely saw that to a degree. But I think the kid looked good.
Former LSU quarterback Rohan Davey with us. Defense. Look, I'm asking a question because it's tempered, right? You still gave up 34 points and 609 yards. I mean,
right.
It wasn't a great day.
That's what I've been saying too. Yeah, correct.
But there were good things. So what did you see from the defense?
Say it again.
What did you see from the defense on Saturday? What changed? What was better?
Well, you know what? I actually saw Bo Pelini try to change up some calls a little bit. Even on the call, now let me tell you, that Elias Ricks pick was a fantastic play. But it also was a great call. I understood that what the defensive call was on that. But in order for Elias Ricks to have made that interception from the safety position, Elias Ricks had to basically first get the call, and then he had to process and react. And let me tell you, man, this, Matt, it's very, very hard to pick off a slant route from the safety position. And the way he broke on that ball and came down, not an antics at the end. I mean, the kid's a kid, and we know his mentality as a DB. I don't agree with all that, pushing the guy away and taunting and all that. But
almost got his head taken off, too, on the pick. And the defender hit him in the head. Like, he almost had his head taken off on the – like, to have the concentration of pulling the ball was super impressive, man.
I know. He's actually him, number 8. His last name crazy. But
Ojulari.
It
ain't that bad.
I mean, it
ain't
bad too. Talking about Lord, it took me a while to get that too. So you know how it goes. But those two were really good, bright spots. Man, I saw that Jacoby Stevens said that he's not coming back next year. Those guys have played. This is the thing with that. Those guys have played so much in the secondary now and then going into next year. Jacoby Stevens is a good player, but I don't think Jacoby Stevens – we'll miss more of, I think, Jacoby Stevens' leadership ability and that intangible than I think we will his just play on the field. So I think in that retrospect, we could be able to replace him. We will miss him more with his, leadership ability and everything like that. But I think the defense played well in spurts. I still think situational football, we still not there yet. And I don't know if that's just not an emphasis or we're just too young right now and they just did away with it. But Bo Pelini tried some things the other night, tried to change some defensive calls up, try to bring guys and put guys down in the box in some pressure situations. I think they played fine, man. Still not up to the level of where we want to be. But for what was going on at the time and for where we were on the road against a Kyle Trask and these guys that was trying to come back and was kept fighting, you know, sometimes you may give up yards like that in a game where you win, but we've been giving up yards like that too much consistently on the defensive side. So although we won the football game, giving up that many yards is still unacceptable.
All right, Rose with us. Let me knock out a quick break. If giving up that many yards is unacceptable, wait till this week. Lane Kiffin and the Rebels come in. We'll preview that game with Roe when we come back. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
If you need dinner plans tonight, Ichiban, always a great option. Essen near Perkins, you know where they are. It's a little setback from the road. You see the arched entryway, the metal Japanese tree sculpture. It is magnificent. Dine in, carry out, or curbside takeaway. If you're still not ready to eat out at a restaurant, okay, they have curbside takeaway. You place your order online or call ahead. When you pull up, you call the number on the parking spot. They'll bring the order out to you right there. Essen near Perkins, conveniently located in the middle of Baton Rouge. So no matter where you are in Baton Rouge, you can get there quickly. That is Ichiban. And from our friends at Ichiban, their newest concept is Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. This is authentic Japanese ramen. Y'all, don't think about that 50-cent ramen in a bag you used to get when you were in college. Every noodle, handmade at Bo-Ru. The broth takes 30 hours. This is an authentic Japanese experience. Bo-Ru Ramen.
Toyotathon is happening right now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Get into a 20 Camry for $297 a month. Come on down to Happy Town for Toyotathon. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
You may not know about the 4Kids Foundation, but you've probably heard of the Zurich Classic. And the Zurich Classic exists because of 4Kids. But it's what happens after the tournament that really counts. 100% of the proceeds are donated by the 4Kids Foundation to hundreds of local charities, totaling more than $40 million, all to help local children and families in need. 4Kids helps kids through golf, because every child deserves a shot at a brighter future.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, T-Bob, sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans, so we're highlighting the fans that do it the most.
Every week, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out, 1045ESPN.com.
It's the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
In and eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Call for a free quote to see how much you can save. 293-0450. After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hey, remember, Bayou Ford powers the all-new 104.5 ESPN mobile app. Download the app today to watch our shows daily. Listen to us live wherever you go. Find what you missed on demand and more. It's a free download available for both Apple and Android devices and powered by Bayou Ford. Rohan Davey's with us as he is every Tuesday. All right, recap now, preview LSU Ole Miss Saturday from Death Valley. It'll be the final game of the 2020 football season, which feels like it's been going on forever. Amazing we're still playing football, regular season football on December the 19th. But here we are. Okay, Ro, are you more interested this week in seeing Max Johnson in his second start or how the defense fares against that Lane Kiffin offense?
I'm kind of torn. It's almost 60-40 to see Max first because, I'm an offense and I just want to see him in his second start. I really want to see him in his second start. And, it's Ole Miss, but even if it was reverse, but I'm going to tell you what, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Kiffin has going on this offense. And I'm going to tell you, we played a bunch of good teams, Bam and all of them. But when it comes to this offensive mind and wanting to stick it to you, this is the guy, and this is the team. The creativity, the plethora of ways that he's going to try to create explosive plays and create confusion on the defensive side for us, which we've been pretty good at confusing ourselves. We really don't need nobody to do it for us. But he's going to create those situations, man. And this game really should be Bo Pelini's that keep him up, because the one thing is first year D coordinator here, even though he's been here. Kiffin, Ole Miss, first year there for him. So he's trying to stamp and make a mark, just like this, and to put them up against each other with the year Bo Pelini's having thus far and the year that they're having. He's clearly coming out here trying to, you guys thinking about firing him? Well, here you go. Let me push it over the top. That's what the business is coming in here. And it's almost like matching wits, but matching wits with Bo Pelini against Kiffin or vice versa is Bo Pelini can't let a Lane Kiffin come in here and put up over 600 yards, because it'll be a different 600 yards.
What you mean?
You know what I mean? It'll be a more explosive. It'll be more consistent. That 600 might turn to 7. And that's what I'm saying. You can't afford and it's not going to be a calling the doors off. It's not going to be like a Coach Saban with the integrity and this of the game. It ain't going to be that. This is going to be a young Steve Spurrier's mentality coming in here. And if you want to stop us from scoring, you better stop us. So I'm intrigued about that.
Well, they did put up 48 on Alabama, and Bama had to score 60 to hold them off because they never stopped coming. And so
never stopped coming, bro.
I am really concerned. Honestly, Ro, I'm concerned. Because look, Ole Miss's defense is atrocious, and LSU should be able to move the football and score. I don't know if LSU can stop Ole Miss from scoring all night.
Right.
So how do you stop them? How do you stop from what they do? How does this defense stop them?
I don't know if, based on how we've been playing, you can stop them. The only chance I think you have for slowing them down is for you to not try to focus on everything that they do, but you try to focus on either the one thing or the couple of players that they do it well with, and take those guys away. Whether it's running the football, you do your best due diligence to put those guys in place to take away a specific aspect of the game or a specific player. And once you do that, that's all you can count on. And you try to keep everything in front of you, man. These guys, the secondary is last week they showed a little bit, played a little bit different. But like I said, this week it's going to be so much different because he's going to do Lane Kiffin is going to do so much to put us in like the most confusion, whether it's crossing routes 5 yards down the field, whether it's motioning and stopping and, changing a whole different formation and flipping. It's so many things that he's going to be doing to cause confusion within us that we're going to really have to have a sound game plan as far as, okay, when they go to this speed up in this NASCAR tempo that they may want to go at, what are the 2 or 3 simple calls that we can make regardless of what they line up in, whatever their motion is, that we know the guys know it and we're solid in that defense and we know where guys are going to be. There's little things like that we're going to have 2, 3 calls that Jacoby Stevens could just call out, and we line up in that regardless of what formation they have on the field. And that's the only chance we have of trying to slow them down. But we have to take away one fast. We can't just let them run, throw, and do everything they want to do.
All right, so there's 2 players that I want to ask about. One is Dwight McGlothern. Freshman, obviously when Flott went out, McGlothern got his first real action, man. And he played pretty well. I don't know if it's just that we had lesser expectations, but, man, so what did you see from 2?
Hadn't seen him. I hadn't seen him a bunch. I've seen him in practice a little bit. Competitive, very competitive. Believe it or not, actually looked, and like I said, I've only seen him in practice. He actually looked like he knew what the calls were. He didn't look flustered. I mean, at times, because of size-wise, he gave up a little bit, but I thought he looked good, man. But let me say this, not I don't know if good enough to be out there right now for 50, 60 plays and hold up the entire time, but for the spots that he got thrown in and the time he got thrown in there and had to play, he played.
Would you rather have Dwight McGlothern or Cordell Flott on the field?
If I'm looking at what I've been seeing so far, I don't want Flott.
Okay. Well, getting a look at a lot of young guys, and obviously if Stingley's back.
That's the whole point of this, though, is to get a look at them guys. This is. Let me say something. This, even though things are not what we want or where we want them to be, the silver lining in this whole thing with this season and everything is, you got these young guys, man, and you get a chance to put them out there to play. You get a chance to see exactly who they are, what they can do, who plays when the lights are on, who doesn't, who needs to practice in order to play well, all that. Who surprises you, who's a leader. You find out who's a leader in these situations, because sometimes guys be quiet, but then they come out and lead by example. Or the spur of the moment, they just come out and start balling, and then the confidence goes up, and you see that. So, and you also get to see about these coaches, man. You see what these coaches are made of. If I'm Coach Ed Orgeron, I'm evaluating my coaches as well. I'm seeing what they're made of when going through this tumultuous time, and how are they going and doing extra effort? What are they doing to get us out of this? What are they doing to get through to their players if they're players? So it's all that. It's an evaluation for everybody.
All right, the other guy I wanted to ask you about is another freshman, Kayshon Boutte. Back-to-back 100-yard receiving games against the number 1 and number 6 team in the country.
He's the next one. He's definitely the next one.
What about him?
He's the next one, man. I mean, I kind of, when we first started the season, and we were talking about which one of the young freshmen that, because I was able to see them a bunch in practice, which one of the young freshmen I liked, and I said him, Palmer, but he was the one. And the reason why I said him was because you look at him run, you look at him catch, you look at him move. He just moves differently than everybody. His confidence level is above all the rest of those guys. But his ability, man, to catch the football with his hands and the explosiveness that he plays with is what separates him from everybody. He's the next one. He's the next one. That's why I call him. That's why I say he's the next one. He's the next Jamar Chase. He's the next. I'm not saying those type of players, but the next group. I'm not going to say great one yet, but possibly the next great one compared to those guys. He has everything. He has everything that you will want to see even at the next level. He's a home run hitter. He's a one play 70, one play 80 at any time he touched the football. You just want to see his route running develop a little bit more. His hands are phenomenal. You want to see his route running, his intermediate route running, 12 to 16-yard route running become a little bit more crisp and understand just when the quarterback wants him open. Sometimes he gets open a little too quick when he's not the first read. And let me say this. This was also before Marshall went out. So now him being the number one, I think he's perfectly fine with being quick on those reads now. So I think he's the next one, Matt. Why not think? I know he's the next one, barring injuries or anything like that. He's a fantastic football player. And he's competitive. He's very, 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 very competitive.
His freshman numbers are already better than Jamar Chase's, and that's just in 9 games. So
that's crazy.
I mean, it is. Rohan Davey, brought to you by South Point Volkswagen every week, southpointvw.com. Ro, you're the best, man. We appreciate you.
Absolutely, partner.
All right, man. We'll see you. It is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138. Give them a call. 288-8138. Come by. Remember, they measure twice and install once at Relief Windows. You want to know why, when the flood happened in 2016 and Relief Windows had to come back behind other window companies and redo the work that they messed up because you had gaps between windows and walls? Those companies didn't take the time to do it right. Relief Windows, they'll measure twice to install once, and you get a lifetime warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. That's Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door siding, ReliefWindows.com. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out. You missed anything? Barrett Sallee was with us in hour number 1. Talked a lot about the SEC and the coaching carousel that's already started spinning. Auburn, Vandy, South Carolina, and what might be next. Also had Larry Holder with us talking some Saints. Shea Dixon in the last hour. Tomorrow is the start of the early signing period. And went through it with Shea. Tigers could hear from 3 uncommitted prospects tomorrow that could jump into the boat. And the biggest of them, of course, is Mason Smith, the big defensive lineman from Terrebonne, and could make it official. What we all expect is that he'll become a Tiger. Man, LSU Inc.'s 19 players tomorrow. Continues trending toward the potential number 1 class in the country this year. It would be a very clear indication to all of college football that this year is a one-off for LSU, as odd as it's been, but that as far as being a competitive national brand, LSU's here to stay. I'll continue to say it, even said it yesterday after the win on Saturday. Enjoy that win. Hopefully tomorrow goes the way we all hope and think it will as far as the early signing period. LSU still has some sincere issues that they have to correct, but man, this would be a major statement. The win against Florida and then winning tomorrow on signing day be a major statement that this program ain't going anywhere anytime soon. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad to have you with us here. We'll knock out break. Otter Locks coming up here in about 15 minutes. Any bets, wagers that we're looking at tonight, we'll do that, what we learned. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Our Tuesday shows all throughout the year are brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Better coverage for less money. Better coverage for less money, like Daniel. Daniel and his wife, AFR listener, been with Liberty Mutual for 13 years. And does this ring a bell? How long have you been with your current insurance provider? Daniel and his wife, 13 years with Liberty Mutual. Had good coverage, but they were overpaying. For the same coverage, Insurance Network of Louisiana saved them $2,155 annually. What would an extra $2,100 do for your budget annually? What if it's more? Maybe you just need to be properly insured. Insurance Network of Louisiana. It is free to have them shop for you. Let them do it. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net. Better coverage for less money. 293-0450.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Org.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana, call for a free quote to see how much you can save. 293-0450. After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hey, it's got word from my buddy Steve Levy over at Pluckers. The Bluebonnet location closed tonight, unfortunately. Contact tracing, they're just making sure all's good. So out of an abundance of caution, Pluckers on Bluebonnet today will be closed. Jacoby Stevens today did announce that his final game as an LSU Tiger will be Saturday. Of course, Stevens is a senior, came back this year and was given the number 7 jersey. But he is, of course, because of the NCAA eligibility waiver, granting everybody essentially a free year of eligibility, he's able to come back next year and play a second senior season, but Stevens won't do that. Told reporters today that this will be his final game, and he'll head to the NFL into the draft after the game against Ole Miss. Is expected also to play in the Senior Bowl. So a great opportunity. Listen, Stevens was second on the team in tackles a year ago with 92 and had 5 sacks. Now, granted, that was 15 games. Presently, he's second on the team in tackles with 58. Oddly enough, one behind Damone Clark. Damone hasn't played a ton this year. Well, I shouldn't say that because he did a lot early, but in the past couple of games, Baskerville has sort of taken that role, and then Clark was back in there with Baskerville unavailable this past Saturday. But Damone Clark with 59, Jacoby Stevens with 58. That, of course, is in 9 games. But Stevens has a chance to finish the season in 10 games as the team's leading tackler. But the biggest thing here, and I'm not really altogether surprised that Stevens going to leave. And there's sort of this theme that's building up, and Ogeron's been asked about it, and he's talked about it. about re-recruiting his team. And there's this sort of focus on getting the seniors to come back. And the only senior that I think that might be a realistic option is Liam Shanahan, because they seem to have made that a priority because they don't really have an option behind him at center. He played just one season. He had no offseason. You give him a full year with Tommy Moffitt, another year in this offense to learn, to build. He's certainly adapted and adjusted to the speed of the SEC. Hadn't snapped a football since high school. So I think that's when you might be able to get back. But aside from that, you shouldn't really be looking at the seniors. It's the draft-eligible juniors are the guys that you've been losing. That's where your focus needs to be. So, I mean, here are your juniors. Your obviously draft-eligible juniors. On offense, Miles Brennan, Chasen Hines, Ed Ingram, and then Aaron Moffitt. Aaron Moffitt's coming off of a torn ACL. We all presume Aaron will be back next year, of course. And Brennan, I think we all assumed also would return. But the two offensive linemen there, that's the key. Can you get Ed Ingram and Chasen Hines to return? Can you get two guys who very physically have an NFL future? And let's be clear, Ed Ingram is your best offensive lineman. I don't even think it's close. But he's probably a middle-round pick. If Ed Ingram returns and has an all-SEC caliber season and everyone gets better, obviously, could he become a first round? Could he become a top, could he become a top 60 pick, a top 2-round pick? Maybe. Is it worth it to him? I don't know. He's battled a lot of adversity. Obviously, missed a year and a half. Now, you came back last year, and I started every game this season for LSU. Can you get Ed Ingram back? Can you get Chasen Hines back to start on that offensive line, have some experience and depth? That's how you build up the depth and the experience, by getting these guys who are marginal, middle round, late round draft pick guys. Hines may not even have a draftable grade right now. Can you get them back and have consistency and depth and veteran leadership? Those are huge. Defensively, I think it's even bigger than offensively. Micah Baskerville, here's your juniors defensively. And these are guys that were first 25 guys, right? That signed a scholarship as part of a 25-man class, not guys who were on the roster who were maybe given a scholarship later. Like Jared Small, for example, a Baton Rouge kid who went to Catholic, who walked on at LSU and may well be on scholarship now, but wasn't one, a 25, an initial 25. Micah Baskerville, Damone Clark, Sony Fanua, Ali Gay, Todd Harris. Think if you get those 5 back. I don't think you're going to get Glenn Logan and Neil Farrell back. I think those guys are gone. Oh, and okay, they've won a national title. They played a senior year through COVID and all that craziness. Maybe you can get those guys back. It'd be awesome if you did. But if you get back the 5 I just mentioned, if you get Baskerville and Clark and Fanua and Gay and Harris to return, that transforms your defense, man. Now you've got a legitimate starting end to start the season, and then opposite B.J. Ojulari, you got Gay and Ojulari back next year. It's a huge way to start. You get Todd Harris to return at safety. Now you got depth, and you're not starting over at that position on the back end. Sony Fanua's played a lot of late. Baskerville's been your best linebacker, for half this season. You get all those guys back, it transforms your defense. Instead of pushing the reset button with everyone except Elias Ricks and Derek Stingley, you return the majority of your starters. That's where the key is on this defense. I don't even think it's the seniors. You got to look at that junior class and say, guys, how many of those guys can you get back? We'll start to get those answers coming up after Saturday. We know LSU won't play in a bowl game. Ed Orgeron finish off the early signing period starting tomorrow and running through the end of this week. Then get to work on your current guys. How many of those juniors can you get to come back and play their senior year? It's stunning, though, when you think about it. 9 juniors on this team. You only have 9 juniors on this team. Guys leaving early for the draft, transfer, all the defections. 9 juniors. And 2 of them were transferred in. Crazy. All right, it's after further review. We'll get to Otter Locks to wrap up the show. I did want to mention, we haven't talked about it much yet. I did ask Lee when he was with us last hour. Tiger basketball won yesterday. They beat Sam Houston State 88-66. I think this continues to underscore the depth. You had no Trendon Watford. You had no Sharif O'Neal, no Will Wade, who did announce that he has tested positive for COVID. But you saw the depth on this team when you're able to start a couple of freshmen. Charles Manning started as he's back from injury, and you rolled out guys, Josh LeBlanc, Baton Rouge guy, Georgetown transfer, played in his first game as an LSU Tiger after receiving his eligibility waiver. You're seeing the depth, the waves of depth on this team. LeBlanc is a long defensive guy. The waves of depth on this team are what makes this one different from any other Will Wade team. They've got amazing freshman talent. They got a veteran presence, and they have depth. And that was never more evident than yesterday with Watford out, with Sharif O'Neal out, no Will Wade, and you were able to roll out the numbers that you did and dominate the way you did. It was great to see. Little lull in the middle of the game, but they clamped down defensively in the second half, allowed just 29 points. So really good to see. All right, to tap further review, we will knock out our final break. Come back. Otter Locks is coming up next with Jimmy Ott, and we'll wrap up with what we learned as always. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. We're heading toward the new year. If your New Year's resolution in the new year, if you are going to be in a new home, you know what to do. Call Darren James and get your home sold. You can start at agent225.com, agent225.com. Right there at the top of the page, you'll see our listings, and that is every single home listed by every company. This one, new on the site today. Hill Park Avenue, that's over in Spring Lake. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot, $260K. Look it up right now at agent225.com. Agent225.com. $1 million house, $100,000 house, anywhere in between, it doesn't matter. Commercial or residential, buying or selling. When you think real estate, think Darren James, because nobody gets homes sold faster for more money than Darren James. On the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1,000 realtors in America. So if you need to sell your home, you know what to do.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
$14,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford Expedition XLT. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The winner is the dog with antioxidant vitamin C.
Given the choice, why wouldn't you choose the one with antioxidant vitamin C? Choose Vizzy Hard Seltzer.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into front-to-back boat services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front-to-back boat services.
Toyotathon is happening right now at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Get into a 20 Highlander for $4,600 off MSRP. Come on down to Happy Town for Toyota.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Call for a free quote to see how much you can save. 293-0450. After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
And remember, Jimmy Ott and all of our guests on AFR receive a gift from Dead Soxy, the new standard in premium dress socks. DeadSoxy.com. Use the promo code HOLIDAYPRO, Holiday P-R-O. Save 35% off your order right now at DeadSoxy.com. And they do have the fleur-de-lis socks. Fired up purple socks with the gold fleur-de-lis. Check it out when you go to DeadSoxy.com. Hit the college tab at the top. Tap on Louisiana. And you'll see them right there. They are fire. You can get the entire purple and gold collection. Great for a Tiger fan on your list. DeadSoxy.com. S-O-X-Y. DeadSoxy.com. Otter, how are you?
You know, just another typical, what do you call these things now in 2020? They're happening on a weekly basis, man. You know, with the old lateral, safety.
Did you play the game last night?
I did. I took Cleveland. Plus a 3.
So some sports books I know are refunding the 3, or are refunding those that took Cleveland plus the 3. Did yours?
No.
Oh, okay.
The DraftKings, I think, is doing like a $50 free play bet or something like that.
Okay.
Some are doing refunds. They're calling it the Karma Committee. And when they have such bad beats, they're trying to do things like that. But you know, I mean, this is when they're kicking off. I mean, you know, it's a possibility. I mean, it's just. I mean, that's what they do. I mean, it happened last year. The San Francisco-Arizona game. It happens. You know, it's not just, 15 years ago, one isolated deal. I mean, it's happening over and over. So,
bad beats happen, man. I'm really, it sucks if you lost, but, I mean, Jimmy, I won earlier this year with the Eagles with that deflected pass, touchdown, and the 2-point conversion. I mean, if you were the other way, that's a bad beat, but I'm not apologizing.
No. It is, no. It's happening more this season at a much higher rate. And part of it is the laterals are some of it, but the kneel downs when they're going into cover with the 1-yard line, those are the ones, after the Todd Gurley thing, those have really added to it. So it's a little bit more. The guys on Monday nights on Van Pelt, they're pretty busy. They're laughing about it. It's just happening. Trust me, it's more regular this year. But no, it's part of it. Yes, it is part of it. There's no question about it.
Otter, what are we looking at tonight, man?
College basketball. I got some decent matchups tonight. You have conference games in the Big Ten and conference games in the ACC. We released one early. Well, there's the Charge Rose a little smoky over here, my man. But anyway, we're on fire. Yes. And so, hey, look, we gave out on a podcast earlier today, Odds and Angles. You can check it out at 1045ESPN.com. Virginia Tech, and they're just underway. So we're going to give you a couple that have not started. First in the Big Ten, Minnesota's 6-0, Illinois 4-2. Illinois is one of my favorite teams in the country this year. Played a much tougher schedule, but 8.5 points is getting a little high against a quality team in Minnesota. So I'm taking 8.5 there, and then we're going down to Tallahassee again. Florida State is 8 over Georgia Tech. Josh Pastner has done a solid job. He returned like 90% of the minutes played, the players from last year. And we gave them out earlier this year on your show as well, and they hit. We like Georgia Tech plus 8. So two small plays on college hoops tonight. Minnesota plus 8.5 and Georgia Tech plus 8.
There you go. And y'all are at Mike Anderson's tonight?
Illinois just went up to 9. Yes, we are. And you know what I'm getting?
You're gonna
salad, baby.
Not the Dalrymple. You're getting the Burnside.
Not the Dalrymple, not the Jennifer G, not the Alvin Dark, the Burnside.
All right, Otter. Y'all have a great show. Game Time with Jimmy Ott follows us in Baton Rouge on 104.5 ESPN or online at 1045ESPN.com. Go see him over at Mike Anderson's and Institution. Get the Burnside South. Thank you, Otter.
Thank you, Matthew.
We'll see. Jimmy Ott and I both happy patients of Dr. Blake Williamson over at the Williamson Eye Center. WilliamsonEYE.com. If you're like me and you're super nearsighted, LASIK was the perfect option. Jimmy had the lens replacement. If you have to pull out the readers just to read the menu or read a book in a dark room, whatever it may be, there is a refractive procedure for you no matter what your issue is. The Williamson Eye Center can help. Go for that free consultation at 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com or the Williamson Eye Center. All right, we are just about to get on down the road. Been a really good day, man. As always, appreciate Insurance Network of Louisiana, our title sponsor. If you missed Barrett Sallee, Larry Holder, Shea Dixon, Lee Feinswag, Rohan Davey, it's all on demand. AFR on demand presented by Breck Golf. You can get it at 1045ESPN.com or however you get your podcast. All right, just as we put a button on the show here, Brain, what did you learn today?
For some reason, Kyle Trask is a hill that Larry Holder wants to die on.
Bro, you take Kyle Pitts away, how average did he look? Paulie, what about you?
I learned the term social distancing is an oxymoron.
Yeah, good on that one, Brain. Brain did teach us that.
Matt, what'd you learn?
Shay says LSU's getting 3 prospects tomorrow. You're going to get Mason Smith. You're going to get that cornerback out of Florida and a running back from Auburn, a flip. See if he's right. Early signing period starts tomorrow. We'll have all the coverage for you on AFR. Brain, Paul, thanks so much, guys. See you tomorrow.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. And as a matter of fact, they got 2 more coming in the greater Baton Rouge area here at the end of 2020, maybe early 2021. We'll let you know when they're open. But look, Shaw Bills, they keep you rolling. Great partners with Firestone, of course, to have an official partnership with the Saints. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. The thing that I tell you all the time about Shaw Bills is their commitment to you is to find ways to get you the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible. Whether it's instant rebates or mail-in rebates or if it's discounts on the install, whatever it is, they're going to find a way to get you the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible. And their whole business model is, that's fine. They're going to sell you tires cheaper than the big box stores and the membership clubs and all that because they know when you come in and they treat you like family, you'll keep coming back year after year after year for all your service. Find the location nearest you online at ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBill.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.